Chapter 7, Intro Arc 7. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Naruto and Ceres both watched in fascination as the blood-red queen piece sunk into the vampire's skin. And done, declared Naruto as Ceres sat up as her wings flared out. They matched Naruto's half-bat-like wings, half-blue flaming wings, startling the Draculina, who quickly jumped up trying to get away from the fire. As she jumped up, she realized the fire was part of her wings. From your memories, converting me could have given me some variation on some of your abilities, correct? Asked Ceres. Yes, and from what Ruby Obasan said, generally with a Phoenix King the peerage members usually gain some level of pyrokinesis and varying degrees of fire immunity, declared Naruto, nodding. And you can heal with your flames, yes? Asked Ceres. I can, but I'm not exactly sure how to use them, said Naruto nervously. I want to test myself against these flames, declared Ceres, looking at Naruto for permission. The young blonde's eyes widened and he hesitantly nodded to his queen. Ceres held her hand out to the side gently. She waved her hand under the open flames of her wings far enough underneath that no normal person would get burnt, but both Naruto and Ceres were nervous as Ceres was a vampire normally not so good with fire, and not that Naruto knew, but the proximity to fire was previously enough to burn Ceres' skin. The platinum blonde vampire held up her hand and was somewhat surprised to see that her hand was clean of burns. Ceres once more held her hand out to the side before she once more ran her hand about 6 inches under her the flames, and once more her pale skin came through perfectly fine. Ceres swallowed the lump that formed in her throat as she ran her hand 2 inches under the flames, moving her hand through quickly. She once more looked at her hand only to see her hand was once more clean, if a tiny bit red. I think you might be done, said Naruto, concerned for his queen. One more, master, spoke Ceres, running through the flames of her wings, Naruto reaching out to stop her, but she had already moved her hand through the flames, pulling her hand out. Ow, 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 muttered Ceres, flicking her hand trying to cool it down. Naruto quickly ran to Ceres' side, grabbing hold of her hand. He saw it was bright red. Quickly his hands were engulfed in blue flames. Quickly taking her hand in his own, the vampire began to relax as her hand began to feel better. A moment later Naruto let her hand go, and to his and her surprise Ceres' hand was her normal color. Well, it looks like I have about human fire resistance, said Ceres, happily getting a raised brow from Naruto. Before you converted me I would start to burn about 3 feet away from flames, so normal fire resistance is a great improvement for me, said Ceres with a smile. Naruto grinned and nodded. Naruto-kun, are you coming back outside? Asked Rias, walking into the blonde's room. Yeah, come on Ceres-chan, let's go, said Naruto, getting a nod from the queen. #outside #. Naruto, Rias, and Ceres walked back outside before walking over to their friends who were almost in the same position they were when they left. Naruto rolled his eyes before smirking as he walked over to the laying down Sona, Tsubaki, Akino, Sarorg, and Kaneko. Sarorg sat up when he saw Naruto, Rias, and Naruto's new queen approach. Sarorg, Kaneko, this is Ceres, my queen. Ceres, this is Sarorg, Rias's cousin, and Kaneko, Rias's rook, said Naruto, introducing the three. Nice to meet you, said Ceres, holding out her hand. Sarorg shook her hand with a grin. Nice to meet you too, Ceres-san, declared Sarorg. Ceres just smiled kindly as Kaneko nodded nervously in her general direction. Wasn't your queen a mutation piece, Naruto? Asked Sarorg. Yep, only piece I could use to convert her, said Naruto, getting shocked looks from everyone. Wow, Ceres, you must be strong to require Naruto-kun's mutation queen piece, declared Akino. We never did get to see your strength in London. Ceres, care to show us? Asked Rias. How like against trees, or? Questioned Ceres. How about a friendly spar? Suggested Sona. That sounds like a good idea, Ceres, questioned Rias, looking to the platinum blonde, who looked to Naruto. Up to you, said Naruto with a shrug. Okay, so who? Questioned Ceres, looking back at the crimson-haired heiress. Why not Tsubaki and Akino? Suggested Rias, looking at her and Sona's queens. Why both of us? Questioned Tsubaki with a raised eyebrow. Well, Ceres is Naruto's queen, and his queen was a mutation piece. It wouldn't really be fair for one person to face her, said Sona, looking at Tsubaki. The girl nodded and shrugged. Well, I'm up for it if you are Tsubaki, said Akino, looking at the heterochromic girl who nodded. Well, let's go somewhere more open for sparring, suggested Rias, getting a nod from the rest of the devils. The 8 devils moved around the castle grounds to a more suitable battleground. When they got there, Ceres, Tsubaki, and Akino moved away from the rest of them and opposite each other. Are you two ready? Asked Ceres, looking over at the two of them. Yes, declared Akino as her 2 devil wings appeared behind her. As ready as I'll ever be, spoke Tsubaki, letting her wings flare out behind her. Well, come at me, called Ceres, her voice becoming demonic as her upper face became shadowed, leaving only her red glowing demonic eyes. The 2 queens were taken aback by the sudden change in the woman, but both flew up into the air, Akino gathering magic around her hands ready to bend the elements to her will, while Tsubaki formed a magical circle that split into 2, revealing an Naginata. With that, Tsubaki, Naginata in hand, ran forwards ready to slash at Ceres. As soon as Tsubaki was close enough to strike Ceres, the blonde vampire jumped backwards before her left hand dissolved into a black and red claw-like structure which caught Tsubaki's weapon before throwing her behind the vampire. However, as Tsubaki was clear of her range, Akino threw a bolt of lightning at the vampire, who blurred out of the way, shocking everyone. At her speed, she rematerialized about 30 feet away from both of her opponents, crouched down, her normal hand touching the ground, her blood claw arm above her. She looked at Akino and Tsubaki before she once more vanished, and again she appeared in front of Tsubaki, her clawed hand already halfway through a swing. Tsubaki brought up her Naginata and blocked the attack, and before she could even try to counter-attack, Ceres was gone and appearing once more in a different part of the open field. Everyone was shocked to see an arm holding a gun formed out of her blood claw arm, and before anyone could question it, the gun was pointed at Tsubaki, whose eyes widened as a hail of gunfire was unleashed. Tsubaki quickly waved her hands, and a mirror formed that the bullets flew into. Thankfully, they didn't pierce the mirror, and 2 seconds later the mirror spat out a storm of twice as many bullets back at Ceres, who leapt over the bullet storm and over the mirror, slamming a fist into Tsubaki's face, knocking her backwards, hitting the ground and knocking her unconscious. Ceres then turned back to Akino with a cruel smirk on her face. No thank you, I give, said Akino, floating to the ground before walking over to Rias, who nodded to her queen, before everyone moved over to the unconscious Tsubaki. Give us a few moments, said Sona, bending down as she began to heal her downed queen, healing the bursts that began to form. Once the bruise was gone, Sona woke up Tsubaki, who sat up. Did we lose? Asked Tsubaki, getting a nod from everyone around. Well, now that that's out of the way, there is still plenty of day to enjoy, said Rias with a grin before she began to walk away. Everyone agreed and began to move away. Tsubaki-chan, can I have a word? Asked Naruto, drawing everyone's attention. Tsubaki herself was confused, but agreed anyway before walking over to the blonde, while everyone else shrugged before walking away. Ceres, would you mind going with them? I wish to talk with Tsubaki-chan alone, said Naruto, getting a nod from his queen, who followed the group of devils. What's up, Naruto? Asked Tsubaki, looking at Naruto confused. I know this may not be my place, but you still hold some resentment towards your sacred gear, don't you? Suggested Naruto, making Tsubaki's eyes widen before they narrowed. You're right, it's not your place, said Tsubaki in an angry tone. Naruto nodded. But you're the only one who's noticed, and it is something I want to get off my chest if you'll listen, said Tsubaki, looking down sadly. I wouldn't have said anything if I wasn't willing. You're my friend Tsubaki-chan, said Naruto with a smile, sitting down. Tsubaki sat down next to him. I have told you I was born to 2 members of the Shinra clan, right? Questioned Tsubaki, getting a nod from Naruto. And you know they are a clan of loyal god worshippers that purify evil spirits, right? Questioned Tsubaki, once more getting a nod from Naruto, who once more nodded to the girl, letting her speak. I was born with an abnormality in the clan's abilities to purify spirits. I could summon those evil spirits from my mirrors. While not labeled a heretic by my clan, I knew that's what they all thought of me, said Tsubaki, tears forming her eyes. Naruto shook his head before pulling the girl into a hug. They forced me into isolation, living alone, not even with my parents, who didn't even seem to care what my clan was doing to me. Not once did they ever come to see me after that. Not once did they call me their daughter. They didn't even look at me as if I was human anymore, said Tsubaki as tears began to flow down her face like waterfalls. If only I hadn't been born with this cursed ability. If I hadn't, then my parents would still care for me as much as I care about Sona, Rias, Akino, and the rest of you. I miss my family, just want a parent's love. Is that so much to ask? Questioned Tsubaki angrily. No, Tsubaki-chan, it's not too much to ask. Everyone should know parental love, said Naruto, holding Tsubaki tighter. I know you never met your parents, Naruto-kun. I know I may seem spoke Tsubaki, only for Naruto to put a finger against her lips, silencing her. No, you're not being insensitive. I was by asking. It's okay, said Naruto with a smile before he took his finger away. And if I may offer my own input as someone who has been in a similar situation, family, the bond that links your true family is not one of blood, but of respect and joy in each other's life. And if your parents didn't care after you discovered your abilities, then they were not your family. The ones that respect and care for you no matter what are your family, those like Sona, Rias, Akino, Lord and Lady Citri, Leviathan-sama, me, Lord Grimmery, Vinalana-sama. Tsubaki, you have so many people that care for you. Don't be blinded by the past and be unable to see the future, said Naruto with a teary smile, looking down at Tsubaki, who looked at him, tears staining her eyes, with a shocked look on her face, before she smiled and looked down. You know just the thing to say, don't you, Naruto-kun? Questioned Tsubaki, wiping away her tears before looking up at the blonde with a smile. I try, declared Naruto with a smile. The two devils sat there still, embracing each other for a few moments of silence. Feeling better, Tsubaki-chan? Asked Naruto, looking down at the girl, who looked up at him and nodded. Yeah, thanks to you, Naruto-kun, said Tsubaki with a soft smile. No problem, said Naruto with a grin. We should probably move. The others will probably be wondering what's going on, said Naruto, standing up. Several hours later. The underworld's night had fallen, and Naruto found himself in his room. Sitting on his bed in front of him was a chessboard, and seated opposite him sat Sona, who was smirking at him. Rias and Ceres both sat on either side of the chessboard, while Akino and Tsubaki sat next to Rias and Ceres. You ready to lose, Naruto-kun? Asked Sona, smirking at Naruto. The black-haired king had been faced Rias, Tsubaki, Akino, and Ceres, defeating them all, and was now facing Naruto, who, while not sure, he was confident that he would do reasonably against his friend. You haven't won yet, Sona, declared Naruto with a smirk as he moved his first piece. Sona narrowed her eyes at the moved piece before she moved her own. Naruto then moved his piece, almost instantly confusing Sona, who looked at the board and began to work out her next move. It took her a moment before she figured it out and moved her piece, and once more Naruto instantly moved a piece. Are you getting help from your mother? Asked Sona, glaring at Naruto with her arms crossed. I'm not, I swear, said, holding his hands up in a defensive position. Sona narrowed her eyes before looking back at the board and mapping out her possible moves. Naruto just sat back as Sona planned her move. Moving her piece, Sona sat back as Naruto once more instantly moved a piece. Are you just randomly moving pieces? Asked Sona, looking at Naruto. No, said Naruto, simply annoying the black-haired woman. This is how the game continued, Sona taking her time to plan out a move, then Naruto moving a seemingly random piece instantly. The game went on for ages, drawing to what everyone hoped was a close, with Naruto having his king, one bishop, 3 pawns, and a rook. Sona, on the other hand, had her king, queen, a knight, and a pair of pawns. Check, said Sona smugly as she moved her queen to just the right position to force Naruto to move his king. Naruto again instantly moved his king, annoying Sona at how quickly he was moving his pieces. She once more observed all possible moves and saw Naruto trying to set a trap for her king, so she moved it only for Naruto to instantly move a piece. Check and mate, said Naruto smugly as he put his piece back on the board. You. What, how, questioned Sona, disbelieving as she looked at the board. He did it, said Rias, shocked. He actually beat Sona? Questioned Tsubaki, looking at the board before she nodded to herself, seeing that Sona's king was indeed in check and had nowhere to go without still being in check. I can't believe it, you actually beat me. No one besides Tusan and Kaa-chan have beat me before, said Sona, looking at Naruto, who shrugged. My strategies are unpredictable and hard to get a grasp on, declared Naruto with a smirk. Well, I know when I am beaten, said Sona, holding out her hand, which Naruto took with his own, and the two shook hands. All right, you lot, bedtime, said Venolana, walking into the room. AWWWWWW came the synchronized whine of the 5 young devils, getting a smile from Venolana and a giggle from Ceres. Come on, you lot, said Venolana. The young female devils groaned before getting up and walking out of the room. Venolana turned to Naruto, who was off his bed collecting his sleepwear. Nodding to herself, the brunette walked out of the room. Naruto, forgetting Ceres was still in the room, took off his shirt with his back to the vampire, making her gasp. Naruto turned to the sound before realizing it was Ceres. Ceres-chan, you said you wanted to see them. Here you go, said Naruto, turning so his back was facing the woman. She moved over to Naruto, dropping to her knees behind him as he stood there, right hand nervously rubbing his left arm. Naruto's vampire queen looked at her master's back, seeing the dozen or so scars and the biggest, most horrible scaring on his back diamond carved into his back. Ceres' hand reached out and touched the scar tissue on Naruto's back, her fingers running along his carved-up back that she unfortunately knew how he got. She would have traveled back to the village of Konoha and wiped it off the map if not for the fact that she knew Naruto wouldn't like that. Sighing sadly, Ceres moved back from Naruto. I thank you for permitting me to see them, master, said Ceres, moving towards the doors. You aren't planning on taking revenge on Konoha, are you, Ceres? Questioned Naruto, narrowing his eyes at his servant. I would, but I am well aware that you would look down upon that, so against my best instincts I will not, declared the woman, stepping out of the room as Naruto changed into his sleepwear. Next morning. Naruto woke up to the feeling of weight on his arms and chest. Looking to his left, Naruto saw on his bedside table 2 pairs of glasses and 2 heads of black hair. To his right, Naruto saw a head of red hair and yet another head of black hair. Comfy, master? Questioned a voice from the end of his bed. Naruto looked up to see Ceres standing there with a smirk on her face. Naruto let his head fall back on his pillow with a sigh. All right, people, chapter over. Chapter 8, Return to the Leafy. I don't own Naruto or DxD. An 8-year-old Naruto woke up in his bed, trying to move his arms. He felt he couldn't. He rolled his eyes and looked to his sides, and surprise, he saw Akino, Tsubaki, Rias, and Sona. Having been in the underworld for a year now, he had just grown used to their antics. Every time Sona and Tsubaki stayed the night, the two of them would sneak into Naruto's room, not to mention that almost every night Rias and Akino also snuck into his room and they would join him in his bed. Seeing nothing wrong with it, Naruto simply let them do what they wanted. Master, once your friends are awake, Lord Grimriad, Lord Phoenix wished to speak with you, spoke Ceres. Naruto looked at his platinum blonde queen and nodded as best he could. In the months since her being reborn as Naruto's queen, Ceres had begun to learn and work towards mastering elemental magic to go with her vampire magic. Along with learning new magic, she had also some months ago begun teaching her blood/vampiric magic to another reincarnated vampire, or at least half vampire. He was a Damphur, half vampire, half human, one which Rias had converted into one of her bishops. The boy named Gasper was a rather shy young vampire who possessed a powerful sacred gear called Forbidden Baylor View, giving him the ability to stop time, but his very shy personality prevented him from using it to the best of his abilities, as he required eye contact to use it. But he was absolutely terrified of everything. Rias had been working on the boy's shyness, but was making little progress. Naruto just lay back feeling happy in the presence of his friends. It was at that point Naruto felt the 2 girls closest to him, Sona and Rias, who were sleeping half on his chest, begin to stir. Ria sat up, stretched her arms out, while Sona stretched her arms out above her before reaching over and taking her glasses from the bedside table upon which they sat. Once her glasses were on, she turned to Naruto. "Morning, Naruto-kun," said Rias as she dropped back down and snuggled closer to Naruto. "Morning, Rias-chan," spoke Naruto with a smile. "Good morning, Naruto-kun," declared Sona. "And to you as well, Sona-chan," said Naruto, turning to face the girl with a smile. "Morning, Rias," said Sona, sitting up a bit to look at the girl. "Good morning, Sona," lazily spoke Rias, looking back at Sona. The three awake occupants of the bed felt the weight move once more as the last two girls woke. "Morning, everyone," muttered Akino, rubbing her eyes. "Morning, Akino-chan/San," spoke Rias, Naruto, and Sona in unison. Meanwhile, Tsubaki had retrieved her glasses and was sitting up. "Morning," declared Tsubaki, getting another round of mornings as a reply. "I hate to rush you four, but Naruto is expected by Lord Gremory and Phoenix now," said Ceres, making the girls look to her before looking back at Naruto and begrudgingly get out of his bed and leave his room. Naruto himself too got up and quickly moved through his morning rituals, ending with him getting dressed. After changing, Naruto walked out of the room where Ceres was waiting for him. Not even waiting for the woman, he moved off towards Lord Gremory's office. Ceres quickly caught up with Naruto, and as soon as she stepped onto his shadow, she dropped into the shaded area behind her master. Naruto felt his queen enter his shadow, but simply continued walking. Several minutes later. Naruto stepped into the office of the man who was as close to a father as he'd ever had to see the man himself and his uncle sitting there waiting. "Ceres-chan says you wanted to see me?" questioned Naruto as the platinum blonde woman rose out of her master's shadow and stood behind him. "Yes, Naruto-kun, we have," said Lord Gremory with a sigh. "Lord Phoenix and I have been discussing your progress, and as much as we don't want to let you, we did promise that when we felt like you could defend yourself, you would be allowed to return to Konoha. The time has come. You are quite capable, and Ceres is quite powerful and very protective of you, so we have decided, should you choose, so you will be allowed to return to the elemental nations," said Lord Gremory, not happy about it, but they promised Naruto and they wouldn't go back on their words. I don't know. I thank you for telling me, but I am happy here. But I may want to, I don't know," said Naruto, confused. Part of him wanted to go back to Konoha and see Ayame, Tuchi, Hiruzen, Kurenai, Yugao, Hei-8, and some of the ANBU agents again, but he was really happy in the underworld. "You don't have to make a decision right away, Naruto-kun. Feel free to take as long as you need. Just remember that should you choose to go back, you are welcome to come back here at any time," said Lord Gremory. "And Phoenix Castle's doors will always open for you as well," said Lord Phoenix. "Thank you," said Naruto before turning around and walking out of the room, Ceres following quickly along after him. Having seen his torn expression, she wanted to be there to help if she could. "Naru-chan, are you okay?" questioned the voice of Kushina within Naruto's mind. "I don't know, I want to go back, but then again, I don't. The people of that village made my life hell, but even after everything I still want to be a ninja," thought Naruto, walking out of the doors of Gremory Castle. "Then go back to the elemental nations, but don't go back to Konoha. Go to Kumo or Kiri or even a minor village," suggested Kushina. "But there are people I still care about in Konoha, and the village might have changed," responded Naruto. "Unless they have forgotten about you, then they won't have changed, nor will they ever. You are lying to yourself, Naru-chan, and you know it," spoke Kushina. "I know that's part of the reason I don't want to go back. I know in the moment I will get caught up in everything and fall into that manipulation again," thought Naruto before he walked into the castle gardens. "Then don't go back to Konoha," said Kushina simply. "I just can't straight up leave the village. I still want to just check if they have changed," said Naruto. "Hey Naruto-kun, what did Tusan want?" questioned Rias as she approached her friend Sona, Akino, Tsubaki, Kaneko, and Gasper following her. "Your father and Aji-san have said I can go back to the elemental nations," declared Naruto, drawing shocked gasps from his friends. "Are you going to go?" asked Sona, looking at him shocked. I don't know, I am thinking about it," admitted Naruto, looking down, still not sure what to do. "Even if you did go back, you would come back, right?" questioned Tsubaki, sounding nervous. Of course I couldn't leave you guys forever, you're my best friends, said Naruto with a grin. Then go, we all know you have some business with that village and Ceres will be there to stop them warping your mind, said Akino, getting a nod from Naruto. Just promise to come back to us the same as you are now, said Akino as Naruto began walking away. Of course, said Naruto with a smile, turning back to his friends who were all smiling at him. Come on Ceres-chan, we have stuff to pack, we're heading to Konohagakure, declared Naruto, getting a nod from his queen. Several hours later. Naruto stood with Ceres next to him, both of them with backpacks next to them. In front of them were Lord Phoenix, Lord Gremory, Venalana, Ruby, Rias, Akino, Sona, Tsubaki, Serorg, Kaneko, and Gasper. Come back to us safe, Naruto-kun, said Rias, walking up and hugging the blonde. I will, said Naruto, smiling as he hugged his friend. Once the two parted, Sona stepped up to Naruto. Don't let them warp your mind, Naruto-kun, ordered Sona, hugging the blonde. I won't, chuckled Naruto, hugging her. Akino was the next one to step up to Naruto. Please don't stay away for too long, pleaded Akino, wrapping her arms around him. I'll try, declared Naruto with grin, wrapping around his friend. After the two separated, Tsubaki stepped up. Rias, Sona, and Akino have said everything I wanted to, so goodbye, Naruto-kun, said Tsubaki, hugging Naruto. See you next time, Tsubaki-chan, said Naruto, hugging the girl. After the two parted, Serorg stepped up and he shook Naruto's hand. Stay safe, bud, said the boy, getting a nod from Naruto. Kaneko walked up to Naruto and hugged him. Goodbye, Naruto, said Kaneko. See ya, Nico-chan, said Naruto, hugging her before ruffling her hair. Gasper walked up to Naruto, who crouched down to the younger boy's height. Goodbye, Naruto-sama, said the young half-blooded vampire, hugging Naruto. Until next time, Gasper, spoke the phoenix, hugging his friend. Venalana stepped closer to the blonde and hugged him. Stay safe, Naruto, and keep up your studies, spoke the woman, getting a nod from Naruto as he hugged the woman. After Venalana stepped back, Ruby stepped up and hugged her nephew. Goodbye, Naruto-kun, said the woman, hugging him. Naruto hugged her back. Bye, Oba-san, whispered Naruto. Once the two blondes separated, Ruby turned to Ceres. Please keep him safe, said Ruby to the platinum blonde-haired woman. You didn't need to ask, declared Ceres, getting a nod from her master's aunt. All right, you two, this is goodbye for now, but remember the castle doors are always open, declared Lord Gremory. Naruto and Ceres nodded before a teleportation circle appeared beneath their feet before it rose up, engulfing them, making them disappear. #Konoha. Naruto and Ceres appeared just outside of Training Ground 44, known to the Konoha populace as the Forest of Death. Ceres quickly vanished into her master's shadow as he began to walk back to the village he had a Hokage to lie to. Despite not being in the village for a year, nothing much had changed, so Naruto could simply follow his memories of the backstreets to get to the Hokage Tower without anyone seeing him. Walking into the tower, Naruto slipped past the secretary who disliked him and began walking up the stairs. He had spent some of the time while packing his stuff working out his excuse to Hiruzen as to where he was for the last year. He was going to have to use a little devil magic, but he couldn't reveal the mystic world to Hiruzen. It was too risky. Walking into the office, Naruto saw the old man behind the desk. He wasn't sure how to feel about the man. He had hid his heritage and burden from him, but the man also treated Naruto like family. Hey Gigi, spoke Naruto. Na Naruto-kun, questioned Hiruzen, looking up at the blonde even if he didn't believe it. Yeah, old man, it's me, said Naruto with a smile. Hiruzen quickly got up and walked over to the boy. However, Naruto saw all he needed to about the man in his eyes when he saw Naruto. They were not eyes of my lost family member is finally home. Those were eyes of good, my weapon has returned. So you were manipulating me, to you old bastard. Well, I won't let you do that anymore, declared Naruto. Where have you been, Naruto, my boy? No one has seen you for a year, said Hiruzen. I was staying in that big fenced-off forest, said Naruto. The forest of death? Questioned Hiruzen, with a raised eyebrow. Yeah, that one, declared Naruto, a grin on his face as he subtly cast a demonic illusion over Hiruzen, making him believe what the blonde said. He knew this would work as the spell wasn't chakra-based, so Hiruzen wouldn't be able to detect it. His parents had both done this in the past. Kushina had told him how to do it. Oh, I know I should have sent someone to search there, said Hiruzen. Well, I'm back now, GG, said Naruto with a grin. Okay, my boy, well, why don't you run along? I have things to do, said Hiruzen, getting a nod from Naruto, who turned and left. Naruto walked out of the tower and down to the streets. He had to tell Hiruzen himself he didn't need to be summoned to the council in front of Hiruzen and have to explain it and put them all under the illusion. Naruto did have one more place to go before he went home. Naruto-sama, you are being followed, said Sarah's voice in mind. I know, Sarah's, he's been following me since the tower. I plan to call him out when I get to this park, replied Naruto as he slipped from alleyway to alleyway trying to get to his final destination, the park he had met Lord Phoenix and Lord Gremory about a year ago. Walking into the center of the park, Naruto bowed his head in respect. Mourning the lives you took? Questioned a voice from behind Naruto, making his eyes widen. He had seen him, Lord Gremory and Lord Phoenix. Naruto spun to face the voice, blue fire flaring to life and over the palms of both hands, ready to lob them at the voice. Hey, whoa, calm down, I'm not here looking for trouble, said the man. He had short spiky black hair and charcoal black eyes. Then why are you here? Questioned Naruto. Speak now, or I will rip off your head, spoke a demonic voice from behind the man, a voice belonging to Ceres. I'm here to offer you training. You have unique abilities, and I would hate to see them squandered, said the man. Why should I train under you? Questioned Naruto. The man didn't look like much, said man, slowly reached into a pocket and pulled out a little black book before tossing it at Naruto's feet. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the man. Page 26. Declared the man. Naruto bent down and picked up the book and turned to the page. Sure, sway of the body flicker. Okay, you have my attention. I will accept your offer, Shisui-sensei. Ceres, let him go, declared Naruto, making his queen let the man go before walking back to Naruto's side. Okay, kid, meet me at Training Ground 10 tomorrow at 9 and we'll begin, declared Shisui, getting a nod from Naruto before he vanished in a swirl of leaves. We're done here to Ceres, come on, said Naruto, turning around and walking out of the training ground, Ceres quickly dropping into his shadow. Hashtag 20 minutes later. Hashtag. Naruto walked towards his apartment block. He knew he probably wasn't going to have a good time, but he knew the landlord would be nasty to him, but Naruto would simply liberate the deed to the building from the man. He wasn't sure if the landlord would disappear after, but he was contemplating it. Oh, I brat, yelled a voice from behind Naruto. Speak of the devil, muttered Naruto, looking back at the landlord walking up to him angrily. You little brat owe me 12 months' rent plus a substantial late fee, said the man. Ceres rose out of Naruto's shadow, shocking the man, but before anything could be said, Ceres was in front of him, pointing at his forehead before both Ceres's and the landlord's eyes glowed red as she began to hypnotize him. You will no longer bother Naruto for rent, said Ceres. I will no longer bother Naruto for rent, said the landlord. In fact, you wish to sign over ownership of the building to Naruto, said Ceres. In fact, I wish to sign over ownership of the building to Naruto, said the landlord before he put down his briefcase and opened it up, pulled out a form and began scribbling on it, before he walked over to Naruto, handing him the pen and form. All that is needed is your signature here, and the deal will be complete, Naruto, said the landlord in a trance-like state. Naruto took the form and signed where he said. Ceres, disappear him, declared Naruto, walking into the large apartment complex. Before walking up to his apartment, walking into his old home, Naruto felt his stomach grumble. The blonde looked at his fridge. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm that brave, muttered Naruto, seeing an old instant ramen container out of the corner of his eye. Looking over at the cup, he swore it moved. Stepping out of the room, he was half tempted to burn the room to the ground. Naruto quickly moved back to the ground floor, where he found Ceres walking into ground floor. Let's go, Ceres, I'm hungry, and I wouldn't trust the food in my apartment as far as you could throw it, said Naruto. Okay, so where are we going? Asked Ceres. A forest I know in the village. I don't have any elemental nation's money, so I can't buy anything, so we have to go hunting, said Naruto, getting a nod from his queen, and once more the two took off towards the back alleys. After about 3 minutes Naruto had arrived in the market district alleyways. He needed to slip through to get to his hunting grounds, however he found something that was unsettling. He saw a young blonde girl sitting at the open end of the alleyway. She looked very undernourished. Her eyes were lolling closed. Naruto walked up to her. It was unsettling for him, as even as much he didn't like the village, it was very rare to see a young child on the streets, and the girl looked no older than 6. Hey girl, what's your name? Questioned Naruto, kneeling down to her level. The girl's head rolled to face him in an almost undead fashion. Luffy Pendragon, please help me, I'm just looking for even a scrap of food, said the girl with no energy in her voice. Come with me, we'll get you nice and fed, muttered Naruto, picking up the girl, who was exceedingly light, and the girl herself fell unconscious as soon as she was moved. Alright people, not so random sporadic update chapter over. So first off we have a 1-year time skip. Next up we have Naruto's return to Konoha. And with his return we have the reveal of Hiruzen's motives. Chapter 9, Return to the Leaf 2. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Luffy was a young girl, what many would call cute. She had short blonde hair and blue eyes, which were currently closed as she lay unconscious in a bed. Naruto had, after finding her, rushed to find some food for her, only for Kushina to tell him that their house would have fresh food, courtesy of various seals. So after getting directions to the place, Naruto had laid the unconscious form of Luffy on what was, when Minato and Kushina were alive, a guest bed. Naruto, while he let Luffy rest, was in the kitchen making food for himself and Luffy, who was beginning to stir from her sleep. Where am I? Questioned the blonde girl as she shot up, looking around the room trying to find someone there. Calm down, you are safe, said a voice from the end of the bed. Looking up, Luffy saw a woman that appeared to be about 20 years old. The woman had platinum blonde hair and blood-red eyes. Who are you? Asked the young girl. I am Ceres Victoria, my master Naruto Uzumaki, and I found you in the streets begging for food. We brought you here while you recover, said the woman with a soft smile. Luffy. I thank you, said Luffy, bowing to Ceres. No problem, Luffy-san, said Naruto as he walked into the room holding a tray with a bowl of soup, several slices of bread, some bacon, and a small stack of pancakes. Placing the tray down on her legs, Luffy looked at the tray with wide eyes and mouth watering. Eat up, declared Naruto with a small smile, before the girl dug into the food rather quickly. Naruto and Ceres just sat and waited while the girl just sort of devoured her food. It took a little under 5 minutes for the food to be eaten by the starving girl. I thank you for the food, Naruto-sama, Ceres-sama, said Luffy, bowing to the two of them. It's fine, said Naruto, waving her off, picking up the tray, which he quickly handed to Ceres, who took the tray and left the room. So what's someone like you doing in a place like this, Luffy-san? Questioned Naruto. Someone like me? What do you mean by that? Questioned Luffy. Well, aside from the young age, I know you are not a regular person, and defiantly not one from this dimensional plane, said Naruto, getting a shocked look from the girl before she settled into an accepting nod. I am a member of the House of Pendragon. I have been taught magic by the Golden Dawn, but my brother, who is without a doubt the family member I care most for, I had heard left the House of Pendragon, so I left the Golden Dawn to look for him. Unfortunately, I haven't had to take care of myself to such a degree before, which is why I ended up begging for food. I had heard a rumor my brother had come here, and that's why I'm here looking for information about him, but the teleportation spell took a lot out of me, so needed food, and that was about a week ago. I think I haven't been able to keep track of time so well, trying to make sure I didn't end up raped by some of the lovely people in this village, explained Luffy, sarcastically calling the people of Konoha lovely. What about you, Naruto-sama? You speak with knowledge of other dimensions. How do you know about them? Questioned the blonde girl. I'm a devil. I was born here, but learned about the mystical world last year when I was taken to the underworld and learned most of what I needed to, said Naruto, getting a nod from Luffy followed by a confused look. You were born here? Why would even a devil want to live here of all dimensional planes? Questioned Luffy. Well, it's a long story, muttered Naruto, scratching his neck. We have as long as you wish to speak, Naruto-sama, spoke the magician. Well, my parents were entered into an arranged marriage when they were young, and neither of them partially liked the idea of the marriage, so they both came here independently trying to escape the engagement. Both of them ended up here in this village, both falling in love with who they thought were mortals of this dimension, only for it to be their betrothed. When they discovered this, they accepted the engagement, but having both made so many friends in this dimension, they didn't want to leave, so they decided to live here permanently, even going so far as to sacrifice their lives for the safety of this village 8 years ago, said Naruto. Wait, how old are you? Questioned Luffy, looking at the blonde confused. I'm 8, declared Naruto, getting a confused look from Luffy. You're 8 and your parents died 8 years ago, spoke Luffy. When I was taken to the underworld, I met with my extended family, who explained part of the story to me, and then I met my mother, who with my father sealed a yukai into me on the night I was born. However, the sealing technique cost my father his life while my mother was dying from having the yukai extracted from her, but they sealed fragments of their souls into me. My mother had the yukai sealed into her, and had begun to merge with it, so when her soul was sealed into me, it latched onto the yukai, causing the two to fight for supremacy of the yokai's body, my mother winning, said Naruto, getting a nod from Luffy. Anyway, you said you came here looking for your brother. Have you made any headway? Questioned Naruto, looking at the girl curiously. No, unfortunately, I don't know if he has even been here, muttered Luffy, looking down. Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you are in Konoha, said Naruto with a smile. Thank you, Naruto-sama, replied Luffy. Just Naruto is fine, said Naruto with a smile, getting a nod from the blonde girl in front of him. If there's anything else you need, let me know, said Naruto with a smile. Well, if you're willing to help me, I don't know this place that well, so would you be able to help me? Muttered Luffy, looking down, embarrassed about asking Naruto to help her. Sure, I have a couple of ideas where we can begin, said Naruto with a grin. Luffy moved to get out of bed, only for her to fall as she tried to stand up properly. Naruto caught her before she could hit the ground. Hey, slow down, is it that important that we start now? You can rest, spoke Naruto as he looked her in the eyes. Sorry, I don't want to wait on this. My brother could leave if he's here while I'm resting, spoke the girl. Naruto nodded and turned around and picked up the girl piggyback style. What are you doing, Naruto? Questioned Luffy, her head resting on the boy's shoulder. You can't walk, I'll carry you, declared Naruto, walking out of the room as only to see Sarah's there. Come on, Sarah's, we're leaving for a while, said Naruto. Where are we going, Naruto-sama? Asked the woman. We have a couple of places we're looking for information on Luffy's brother, spoke Naruto, walking to the door. Sarah's nodded, stepping up behind Naruto before dropping into his shadow, making Luffy look at the blonde shadow in shock. She's a vampire, declared Naruto as he walked out of the front door of his parents' house. Walking down the path, Naruto walked out of the gate, closing it behind him. Then, to Luffy's surprise, the compound and house vanished from sight, and Naruto began walking away from the now invisible home. How did you do that? Asked Luffy. The compound is protected by various methods so that only people who know where it is can get to it, declared Naruto as he moved through the trees back towards the village. It took several minutes, but Naruto and Luffy walked back towards the village center. Luffy looked on confused as Naruto walked stealthily around the village back alleys. Why are you hiding, Naruto? Asked Luffy in a hushed tone. The village hates my guts. The yukai that I told you was sealed in me caused a lot of damage to the village. All of the adults of the village know that the yukai is sealed in me and would use any excuse to attack me, either thinking that by hurting me they hurt the Kyuubi or that I am the Kyuubi itself, whispered Naruto as he moved towards the front gates. Luckily, Naruto and Luffy managed to get to the front gates without trouble. Walking up to the gate, Naruto saw just the two knuckleheads he wanted to see sitting in the both arms crossed and sleeping. Oi, Kotetsu, Izumo, wake up, said Naruto, walking up to the booth. We're awake, spoke a startled Kotetsu as he and Izumo both sat up in an instant. Both men looked lazily around until their eyes settled on Naruto. And Naruto, is that you? Questioned Izumo in shock at seeing the boy. Sup guys, long time, said Naruto with a grin. Naruto buddy, where have you been? Questioned Kotetsu looking unbelievingly at the boy. I have been in the forest of death for the last year, said Naruto with a sad smile. What the hell, next time tell us before you take off like that, we missed you, you little knucklehead, muttered Izumo reaching over and ruffling Naruto's hair. It was at that moment both men noticed the person on Naruto's back. Who's your friend Naruto? Questioned Kotetsu looking at the girl on the blonde's back. Hello, I am Luffy Pendragon, said the girl with a smile. Nice to meet you, Luffy-san, spoke Kotetsu with a smile. What can we do for the two of you? Questioned Izumo looking at Naruto and his passenger. Well, Luffy here has been looking for her brother who ran away from home, and she had heard rumors that he might be here in Konoha, so we were wondering if we could look through the logs, said Naruto. Sorry Naruto, you know we can't let you look through them, but given the situation we could look through them, we just need a name, spoke Kotetsu. Arthur Pendragon, declared Luffy, getting a nod from Kotetsu as he began to look through the books for the name. Flipping through the pages, Kotetsu looked up and down the pages of the book, shaking his head, flicking the pages as he got closer and closer to the back of the books. Several minutes after he began, Kotetsu looked up with a sad look on his face. Sorry, no Arthur Pendragon in here, not even an Arthur. Sorry, Luffy-chan, said Kotetsu with an apologetic look. I thank you for looking for me, declared Luffy with a sad smile. Sorry we couldn't be more helpful, but we'll keep an eye out for him and we'll let you know if he checks into the village, said Izumo with a smile, getting a grateful smile from the girl. Thanks guys, muttered Naruto before turning around and began walking away from the gates. Naruto, walking away from the gates, quickly made his way to a back alley where he moved out of the open end of the alleyway before he quickly formed a magical circle below his feet, which rose up engulfing Naruto and Luffy. #unknown alleyway #. Naruto and Luffy appeared in another alleyway which looked a lot less clean than the previous one, but this alleyway Naruto simply walked out onto the street and calmly walked down the road, confusing Luffy, who quickly looked around to see people giving her and Naruto strange looks. Naruto, people are staring, muttered Luffy, concerned. They're just trying to work out who is the new Yamato, little sister, and who hurt her, said Naruto, confusing Luffy, who looked around confused before what he meant clicked in her mind. Wait, me? Questioned Luffy, confused. Yep, said Naruto with a smile. Why would anyone care who hurt me, and why would I be their Yamato? Questioned Luffy. This Luffy is Konoha's red light district, the only place in the village I am considered by a majority of the population to be human, and almost everyone here, be it a street thug or a brothel whore, sees me in Ototo, and if you're with me then you're family to the people here. Everyone in this district looks out for everyone else. This district is not a random assortment of people, this district is one giant family, declared Naruto. Oh okay, muttered Luffy, looking down, feeling bad for Naruto that the rest of the village apparently viewed him as less than human. However, her attention was drawn towards a large building in front of them. It was a bar. Walking straight in, Luffy was somewhat scared when everyone turned to her and Naruto. Nice of you to show yourself, Naruto, declared a sarcastic feminine voice from behind the bar. Sorry, Nasan, things happened and I spent the last year outside of Konoha, declared Naruto as he walked up to the bar. I will let you off this time, mister, but next time I want advance notice. Half the thugs were ready to start knocking down doors looking for you, said the woman. I'm sorry everyone, said Naruto, looking down. Hey, it's okay Naruto, but next time advance notice, declared another voice within the room. Naruto nodded. Anyway, Naruto, who's the girl? Asked the woman from behind the bar. Naruto moved over to the bar before one of the women at the bar took Luffy from Naruto's back and sat her on her lap, while the woman next to her picked up Naruto, putting him in her lap. This is Luffy, declared Naruto, motioning to the girl, who waved nervously to the woman behind the bar. She's not from here and her brother left their home and she's looking for him. She heard rumors he might be here in Konoha. We've already checked with Kotetsu and Izumo, but they haven't seen him, spoke Naruto. And his name is? questioned the lady behind the bar. Arthur Pendragon, nervously spoke Lu Fei. Can't say the name rings a bell, but what's he look like? Maybe I've seen him, suggested the woman. Well, he's blonde with a short ponytail and spiky hair, purple eyes, and glasses, spoke Lu Fei, trying to recall details of her brother's appearance. Being at least 3 months since she had seen him, he could have changed in the time she hadn't seen him. Unfortunately, sweetie, I can't say I have seen him, sorry, spoke the woman behind the bar with an apologetic look. Thanks anyway, muttered Lu Fei, looking down sadly. Half an hour later. Naruto walked out of the bar with Lu Fei on his back as he walked. Despite it being a dead end, Naruto tried to help Lu Fei stay positive. Don't worry, Lu Fei-chan, I'm sure we'll find him, said Naruto with a smile at the girl. Thank you, Naruto, but for now I just want to rest for a while, declared Lu Fei. Naruto nodded and began walking towards his parents' home. Several hours later. Naruto sat in his parents' lounge room reading one of several large books Vinalana had given him to read. The sun had long since set and Lu Fei had been sleeping since the trio had returned. Ceres had left the house when the sun had gone down. Naruto knew what she was going to do, and really he didn't try to stop her from going out and finding some of the harsher of his attackers to either scare them or disappear them. Naruto, while reading, was thinking of what to do with the apartment block his queen had helped him acquire earlier. He needed to clean his normal apartment up so that if Hiruzen decided to visit, it would look like Naruto was still living there. The other thing on Naruto's mind was the friends he still had within the village. His mind flickered to the ruby-eyed Genjutsu Mistress Kurenai, the purple-haired sword Mistress Yugao, the master swordsman Heiate, the 2 ramen cooks Ayame and her father Tuchi, and the several still unknown ANBU agents Inu, Dog, Itachi, Weasel, Tora, Tiger, and Oni, Damon. Naruto's thought process was interrupted by the sound of a door opening. Naruto turned around to see Lu Fei in a clean set of clothes looking at him. Lu Fei-chan, is something wrong? Questioned Naruto, watching as the blonde girl walked forwards and sat down on the sofa opposite Naruto with a look of contemplation on her face. Naruto, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me today. You didn't have to feed me or give me a place to stay in this village, nor did you have to help me with my search for my brother, spoke Lu Fei. Are you leaving? Questioned Naruto, getting a shake of the head from the girl. No, not yet. My brother may yet be in this village, but I do want to thank you properly, so if there is anything I can provide you with, I will be happy to do so, said Lu Fei. I didn't do what I did today for a thanks, Lu Fei-chan. It was because it was what was right, said Naruto with a smile. Still, is there nothing you want that I may be able to provide? Questioned the girl. Naruto looked conflicted about what he was about to say. There is something, please, Naruto, tell me. I feel bad, declared Lu Fei. Naruto held up a finger indicating for her to wait. Naruto walked away into a hallway, returning a moment later with nothing appearing to be different. There is one thing I do not expect you to say yes, nor do you have to. I respect your decision, whatever it may be, and you are welcome to stay here either way. I will not try to force this upon you, nor if you say yes will I prevent you from your search, said Naruto, making Lu Fei raise an eyebrow at her fellow blonde, before he reached forwards and put an object on the table between them. Is that a? Questioned Lu Fei, words failing her. An evil piece, yes, spoke Naruto, leaning back as the girl looked at the blood-red bishop piece. Chapter 10, Return to the Leaf 3. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Lu Fei looked at the blood-red bishop piece on the table between her and Naruto. She looked at him. Like I said, I'm not going to force this upon you, declared Naruto. Lu Fei picked up the piece and held it in her hand, looking at it. I need some time to think about this, muttered Lu Fei, looking up at Naruto, putting the bishop back on the table. Take as long as you need, Lu Fei-chan. This is a huge decision, and I don't want you to end up regretting this, spoke Naruto. Lu Fei nodded before standing up and walking towards the room she had been given for her stay. Good night, Naruto, said Lu Fei as she moved towards the hall. Hey, called Naruto, making Lu Fei turn to him before he tossed his bishop to her. Hold on to it until you've made a decision, said Naruto, getting a nod from Lu Fei, who turned and walked down into the hall. Sleep well, Luffy-chan, spoke Naruto with a smile as he watched the girl leave the room. Naruto sat back down on his couch and continued to read his book. He had lots to think about. Next morning. Naruto woke in his bed alone with a somewhat sad smile. Naruto rolled over and looked at the clock. Seeing it was 7:30, Naruto rolled back onto his back and looked up at the ceiling with a sigh. Something wrong, Naruto-sama? Questioned Ceres from the end of his bed. I've woken up with Rias, Akino, Sona, and Tsubaki beside me for so long I've forgotten what it's like waking up alone, muttered Naruto, his eyes not moving from the ceiling. If you miss the feeling, I will sleep with you, Naruto-sama, offered Ceres, making Naruto look at her. I don't want to force you to if you don't want to, Ceres, said Naruto. Ceres smiled at him. I'm fine with it if you are, Naruto-sama, said Ceres with a smile. Naruto quickly got out of his bed and walked over to Ceres. Thank you, Ceres-chan, spoke Naruto, pulling the woman into a hug. It's not a problem, Naruto-sama, said Ceres, wrapping her arms around her young master. Please, Ceres, just Naruto, I shouldn't have been making you use Sama, said Naruto, looking up at the woman. You weren't making me, Naruto, you are my master. I have always been respectful to my superiors, so it was natural, said Ceres, smiling down at her master. Okay, but no more, all right, questioned Naruto, stepping back from the girl, who nodded. All right, I have to go shower. I have to meet Shisui-sensei in an hour and a half, said Naruto with a grin as he moved towards the bathroom. An hour and a half later, training ground 10 #. Naruto walked into the training ground Shisui had told him to go to. In a normal position in his shadow was Ceres, watching over Naruto, making sure no serious harm came to her master. Ah, you made it, spoke Shisui from the other side of the clearing Naruto stepped into. Yes, and before we begin I would like to apologize for my hostile behavior yesterday, Shisui-sensei, spoke Naruto. It's okay, kid, I know your story, I know how people treat you, water under the bridge, said Shisui with a dismissive wave of his hand and a big grin. So you know about my tenant? Questioned Naruto, his hand sitting over his stomach as he said this. Yep, sure do, don't care you hold it, although from what I heard you didn't know about it, declared Shisui with a raised eyebrow. I learned about it last year, said Naruto with a smile. Sorry, Kaa-chan, thought Naruto, apologizing for calling his mother in it. It's fine, I've been called worse, declared the voice of Kushina from within Naruto's mind. So what's first up, Shisui-sensei? Asked Naruto, looking to the man with a grin awaiting instructions. Well, I have seen you have some skill, and I think I should get a handle of what you can do first, said Shisui. Before we begin, Sensei, are you going to tell anyone that you're training me? Questioned Naruto, looking at him nervously. Scared people might attack you for training? Questioned Shisui. That and I might have ANBU watching my every move while I'm in the village, thought Naruto while nodding to Shisui. Don't worry, Naruto, I didn't plan on telling anyone like that, spoke Shisui. Thanks for that, Sensei, spoke Naruto before he bit his thumb, making it bleed before he rubbed the blood on his other fingers. Shisui looked on with a raised eyebrow as Naruto knelt down and with his bloodied fingers began to draw what he could only guess was a Fuinjutsu seal. In actuality it was a devil rune, but then again that's what all ninja Fuinjutsu was based on, so Shisui's thoughts were not far off. Naruto finished off his rune with a circle around it before flooding the blooded dirt with his devil magic. After magical energy was pushed into the rune, a small dome of energy spread around from the rune. Naruto looked up at Shisui, whose eyes had turned from charcoal black to blood red with 3 tomo rotating around his pupil, and he was looking around. What's the seal do? Questioned Shisui, looking at the blonde, who was now standing once more. It distorts the reality around us, stopping anyone outside the area from seeing what we're doing, said Naruto, getting a nod from Shisui. Okay, fair enough, muttered Shisui. Ceres-chan, would you mind leaving the area? Questioned Naruto, turning back to his shadow, making Shisui look at him like he was insane. That was until the platinum blonde woman rose from Naruto's shadow and quickly moved over to the tree line, where she watched the two with narrowed eyes, not entirely trusting Shisui. Now sensei, you wanted to see my skills, spoke Naruto, turning back to Shisui, who still had his blood red and Tomo spinning eyes. Naruto smirked and threw his hands out to the side and let two balls of blue fire form, hovering over his hands. Before Shisui could say anything, Naruto ran forwards at the man who watched on impassively as Naruto drew closer and closer before the blonde kicked off the ground with his left foot, launching him upwards and to the right. Naruto swung his right arm overhead and threw the ball of fire down at Shisui, who jumped back from the fire with only a raised eyebrow, looking up at the airborne. Naruto, before the ninja reached into his pouch and pulled out a pair of shuriken, Naruto's eyes went wide as Shisui threw the weapons at Naruto, who flared his wings and flew backwards to avoid the weapons. Blue fire and wings, you are just full of surprises, aren't you, Naruto? Spoke Shisui with a smirk. Naruto just growled and flew forwards at Shisui before his flames from his left hand formed into the shape of a blade, which he swung down on Shisui, hoping to catch him and making assumptions that his blade-shaped fire would actually act like a blade and Shisui would block with a kunai, only for the man to jump back from Naruto as his blade slammed into the ground. I've had people pull a similar trick on me before, Naruto. It's a good trick, but I've been on the receiving end of it before, smirked Shisui, making Naruto once more glare at him. You seem quite fond of that blue fire of yours. Let me show you some of my fire, spoke Shisui, grinning like an idiot as he flipped through hand signs. Katan Gokaku no Jutsu, fire-style fireball jutsu, called Shisui, breathing out a fireball about Naruto's size that flew towards the boy, who was now smirking. Fire is my domain, Shisui-sensei, you can't touch me with it, grinned Naruto as the fireball that flew towards him went from orange-red to light blue and flew around Naruto before he flicked it back at the shocked Shisui, who quickly jumped out of the way of the fire. At speed Naruto couldn't track, Shisui appeared right in front of him, a few leaves flicking around his form, and he was already mid-punch towards Naruto's midsection. Naruto was hit in the gut, making him double over in pain. Shisui then pulled Naruto's face down to his knee, kneeing him in the nose, throwing Naruto backwards. Naruto, called Sarah's about to rush to her master's side, but Naruto flipped backwards before Shisui could attack him while he was down. Stay back, called Naruto, holding his hand out indicating for her to stop, which she did. Ka-chan, can I get a little bit of yukai? Asked Naruto. Kushina didn't even respond, she simply gave Naruto not even half a tael's worth of yukai. Naruto's eyes went blood red and his fingernails became claw-like. Naruto then bolted forwards at speeds that shocked Shisui, so much so that Naruto managed to land a solid hit to Shisui's midsection before his fist burst into flames, throwing Shisui backwards from his position. Shisui stopped just short of a tree behind him. You got a decent amount of strength there, kid, and your speed is nothing to sneeze at, declared Shisui. Naruto once more charged at Shisui, throwing a punch at the man only for Shisui to catch Naruto's fist and to twist his arm, pulling Naruto into a headlock with his own arm. His back to Shisui. How are you going to get out of this one, kid? Questioned Shisui with a smirk. Naruto narrowed his eyes before throwing his head back, hitting Shisui in the nose, making his grip on Naruto's wrist slip. Naruto then lifted up his left foot before slamming his foot down on Shisui's, making the ninja pull his foot back. Naruto then bent his right foot up at the knee, slamming his heel into Shisui's balls, making all grip on Naruto cease as he clutched his balls. Naruto then jumped forward, spinning around and throwing a fireball at Shisui, hitting the man in the chest, knocking him back as he fell to the ground. Shisui burst into flames. Naruto stopped and looked around the clearing, expanding his senses to try and locate Shisui, only to hear clapping as the man himself stepped out from behind some trees. Well done, Naruto, you beat my reinforced Kage Bunshin. That guy was about 10% of my skill, and it gave me a rough idea of where you're at, despite the fact you were holding a bit back, I think, although I am confused how you used those fireballs without chakra, said Shisui. They're not chakra, it's just pyrokinesis, declared Naruto. Okay, that explains the lack of chakra in them, I guess, muttered Shisui. What about the wings then? I saw no chakra in them either, questioned Shisui. Naruto winced. He didn't have a cover story for his wings. Naruto looked at Shisui. What would you say if I told you I'm not exactly human? Questioned Naruto. If you think you're a daemon for the wings, then began Shisui. No, that's not it. This is not something I feel. This is something I know. I'm not human, Shisui-sensei. I'm a devil, said Naruto, making Shisui raise an eyebrow at him skeptically. You don't believe me, said Naruto. No, declared Shisui. Well, this might prove it to you, said Naruto, holding his hand out, and a magical ring formed at the end of his hands before a ball of blue fire formed in front of the rune. I can't see any chakra in the technique, but I can see some form of power in it, said Shisui, looking at the flames. That power would be my devil magic, declared Naruto. All right, for now I will believe you, said Shisui, looking at Naruto. Thank you, Shisui-sensei, spoke Naruto. You still have chakra, right? Questioned Shisui. Yeah, devils absorb chakra from the atmosphere, which forms our own chakra networks. However, given my parents were both devils who moved here and their chakra networks had already formed, I was born with one, said Naruto. Right, well, have you unlocked your chakra? Questioned Shisui, looking at his apprentice, who was shaking his head. Right, so starting fully from scratch right then, muttered Shisui, looking down. Sorry, sensei, said Naruto, sadly looking down. No, Naruto, it's fine. I'm not disappointed, just trying to work out a training schedule for you, declared Shisui, getting an excited nod from Naruto. First things first, I guess let's unlock that chakra, spoke Shisui, getting a nod from Naruto. Sit down, Naruto, in a meditative position, ordered Shisui. Naruto dropped to the ground, sitting in a meditative state. Now close your eyes and empty your mind, said Shisui. Once more Naruto did as instructed. With your mind clear, I want you to reach down into your stomach. You're looking for a warm feeling, said Shisui, looking down at his sitting pupil. Naruto once more did as instructed. Searching deep within his navel, Naruto searched for the warm feeling. It's okay if you don't find it, Naruto, came Shisui's voice almost in a disembodied tone as Naruto searched for the warm feeling. Naruto began Shisui, interrupted by the blonde. I have it, declared Naruto, making Shisui raise a brow. Not that Naruto saw it. Okay, Naruto, I want you to try and gently pull on that feeling. Let the warmth flow through you. Pull that feeling out, spoke Shisui. Naruto nodded slightly as he began to pull on the feeling, letting it flow through his body. Shisui, who was watching with his Sharingan active, he watched on as Naruto's chakra spread throughout his body. However, before Shisui could say anything to Naruto, he had to jump back and close his eyes as Naruto exploded with chakra. Shisui looked at Naruto, worried. However, to his surprise, Naruto still sat in his meditative position, alight with chakra. Naruto had so much chakra it was creating a visible flame on him. This kid, having just unlocked his chakra, has more than I do. What is this kid? Wondered Shisui, looking at the blonde before he shook his head, bringing his attention back to the kid sitting in front of him. All right, Naruto, you've done it, said Shisui. Naruto opened his eyes, which were now aglow with chakra. The blue sheen of chakra around Naruto dissipated and the glow around Naruto's eyes dropped, and he smiled at Shisui, who grinned at his student. Good job, Naruto. Most people don't get it their first times, declared Shisui, making Naruto's eyes go wide before he smiled. Upside, you unlocked your chakra on your first go. Downside, you have more chakra than I do. Upside to that, you can throw jutsu around like nobody's business. Downside to so much chakra, very little control, if any at all, declared Shisui, making Naruto happy and sad. I think the best thing to do is to teach you control. However, because of your gigantic reserves, you may need a little help. So first I want to teach you the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu. With this jutsu you'll be able to clone yourself, and these clones send any information learned back to you when they dispel, declared Shisui, making Naruto's eyes widen. However, don't think this is an easy jutsu. It's very chakra intensive, and the clones dispel really easily, said Shisui. I'm ready to learn, Shisui-sensei, declared Naruto, getting a nod from Shisui. Okay, I want you to put your fingers like this, said Shisui, holding his hands up with his index and middle fingers in a cross pattern. Naruto nodded and imitated Shisui. Okay, with your hands like that, I want you to push as much of the warm feeling to your hands, and when you feel you have enough, I want you to try and push it out of your hands and call Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, said Shisui, calling the name of the jutsu before a cloud of smoke appeared next to Shisui. The smoke quickly vanished, revealing a second Shisui. Naruto went wide-eyed. All right, Naruto, your turn, declared Shisui. Naruto nodded and put his hands into the hand sign. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, called Naruto before a huge cloud of smoke covered the entire clearing, once the smoke cleared, revealing 100 clones in the clearing. However, before Shisui could say anything to Naruto, the clones started to vanish, and within seconds there was no clones in the clearing and Naruto stood on wobbly feet. Master, called Ceres, blurring forwards, catching Naruto as he fell backwards. I'm good, Ceres, muttered Naruto, shaking his head as he stood back up. You created too many clones with not enough chakra. Try thinking about 50 clones and try again, Naruto, spoke Shisui, getting a nod from the blonde, who stepped forwards from Ceres, who looked at him worriedly. You don't need to push yourself so hard, Naruto-chan, said Kushina worriedly from within Naruto's mind. If I don't push myself, how can I improve? Questioned Naruto, silencing his mother, who was still worried but would be able to help if worst came to worst. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, called Naruto, forcing his chakra into his hands. Once more smoke appeared in the clearing. This time, when it cleared, it revealed 50 Narutos. Shisui raised a brow, looking at the clones, almost expecting them to pop, but to his surprise they were stable. Walking up to the nearest clone, Shisui poked it to check the stability of the clones. Hey, said the clone indignantly. Just checking stability, said Shisui, looking at the clone, who narrowed his eyes. All right, now I want all of you to watch closely, as this is what you'll be doing next, declared Shisui, making all of the Narutos look at him as he walked over to a nearby tree and began walking up the trunk, shocking all of the other people in the clearing. To do this, you need to push chakra into your feet and walk up the tree. Too much chakra and you'll be blasted off the tree. Too little and you won't stick. You might want to start with a run-up, said Shisui, getting a nod from Naruto and his clones. Now each of you pick a tree and get started, ordered Shisui. Chapter 11, Return to the Leaf 4. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Naruto grinned as he huffed and puffed at the top of the tree he was standing on. I did it, Shisui-sensei, wheezed Naruto, looking down into the clearing where Shisui stood, Ceres beside him. Good job, kid, you mastered that faster than I expected, called Shisui, looking up at Naruto and the pink sky behind the blonde. It took me a day. How long did you expect me to take? Questioned the sweating Naruto, looking down at Shisui. Well, from what I know of people doing this exercise, I was expecting at least a week, maybe 2 days, with your shadow clones, called Shisui. Naruto nodded and began to walk back down the tree, that is, until the blonde got halfway down the tree before he simply began to fall. Naruto yelled, Shisui and Ceres looking as the blonde fell. Ceres quickly jumped up, catching Naruto as he fell. Ceres quickly pushed off the tree and backflipped, landing softly on the ground, Naruto in her arms. Sorry, Ceres-chan, muttered Naruto as he lay in her arms. It's not your fault, Naruto, spoke Ceres. You used too much chakra up and didn't have enough to maintain connection to the tree. You pushed your limits a little too far, Naruto, said Shisui before reaching into his pouch, pulling out a small sack of something. Reaching into it, he pulled out a tiny red pill and held it out to Naruto. Here, this will replenish your chakra quickly, said Shisui, handing the pill to Naruto. What's the catch? Questioned Naruto, his eyes lolling closed. Good, you are smart enough that something like this comes at a cost. The catch is that when you run out of chakra again, you will be twice as tired unless you rest between now and then, said Shisui. Then what's the point? Chakra regenerates when I sleep anyway, said Naruto, looking at Shisui confused. You've got to walk home. I have heard some of the stories about what happens to you, and even with your bodyguard, I don't want to walk home so tired, said Shisui, motioning to Ceres at the mention of bodyguard. Naruto looked at Ceres and then back to Shisui, nodding to him, taking the pill before crunching it between his teeth. After a moment, Naruto stood up, feeling his chakra return to him. Same time again tomorrow, Naruto, declared Shisui, stepping away from Naruto. All right, Shisui-sensei, said Naruto as Shisui vanished in a swirl of leaves. Naruto turned to Ceres with a smile. Thank you for catching me, Ceres, said Naruto with a smile. I promised Vanillana-sama and Ruby-sama that I would keep you safe and intend to keep that promise, said Ceres, getting a grateful nod from Naruto. Thanks anyway. Time to go, declared Naruto, turning and walking out of the training ground, Ceres quickly dropping into Naruto's shadow as he walked out of the area. The blonde walked towards the main part of the village. Walking down the streets of the village, Naruto ignored the glares being sent his way in favor of walking to his destination. The TNI department was not a place many people would willingly go to, let alone a child no older than 8, but Naruto walked up to the building that looked like any other in the area, the screams of those within silenced by seals and devil runes. Just as Naruto was about to walk in, the doors of the building opened. Ankone, said Naruto with a huge smile, seeing the purple-haired woman he had come to see. And Naruto-chan, questioned the woman, seeing the blonde she hadn't seen in over a year. Ne-chan, called Naruto, running over to the woman, hugging her. Despite her shock, Anko seized the boy in a hug. Naruto, what? Who? When? What? Questioned Anko, confused. Ne-chan, I don't really want to talk about this more than once. I know you probably have questions for me, but could we talk about this with Yugao-ne, Hiei-ne, and Kurenai-ne? Questioned Naruto. Anko narrowed her eyes at the young blonde. It's a long story. I swear I will answer any questions. I just don't want to be explaining over and over again, said Naruto. You're lucky, Naruto. I was just headed out to meet them now, said Anko, holding out her hand to the young blonde before the two of them walked away from the TNI building, heading to the red light district. Hashtag 10 minutes later. Hashtag. Naruto walked with Anko into a bar, Naruto walking behind Anko somewhat as the two walked towards the back of the bar. Anko walked towards her and her friend's usual table. She was walking a little faster than normal, but she wanted answers from Naruto. Hey, Anko-chan, called a voice, snapping Anko out of her pseudo-trance to see Kurenai smiling at her. Anko grinned at her friends. Hey guys, looky who I found, said Anko with a grin, stepping aside, revealing behind Anko was Naruto. And Naruto? Questioned Kurenai, looking at the boy. Hey, said Naruto nervously. Naruto, squealed Kurenai, jumping out her seat, hugging Naruto tightly. Here I thought Anko was Kaa-chan's second rook, spoke Naruto as he was squeezed exceedingly tight by Kurenai, who the second she heard his comment she stopped dead in her tracks, as did the other three people. Ceres, would you please join us, spoke Naruto, making the four people around him look at him confused until his platinum blonde vampiric queen rise out of his shadow, standing behind him. I assume you want to know where I have been for the last year. I have been learning about my heritage, said Naruto, shocking the four people. Naruto then sat down in the booth next to Yugao, Ceres sitting next to him, the rest of the group shuffling around to accommodate Naruto and his queen. How did you get to the underworld? Questioned Hey-8, forgetting to fake cough while he spoke. Lord Phoenix and Lord Grimry felt me use my demonic power instinctively, and they took me back to the underworld with them, spoke Naruto, looking at Hey-8, who nodded. You used your demonic power instinctively? Questioned Yugao. A group of blank-masked ANBU attacked me with some fire jutsu which I took control of with my pyrokinesis, said Naruto, getting a confused and somewhat annoyed look from Yugao. I take it Ceres-san there is one of your peerage? Questioned Kurenai. Yes, I met her in London. Meet Ceres Victoria, my vampiric queen, said Naruto. Wait, Ceres Victoria, as in Ceres Victoria revived by Alucard? Questioned Yugao, looking at Ceres. How do you know my former master? Questioned Ceres. He was both of Kushina-sama's bishops, declared Hey-8. I told him so many times not to call me that, spoke Kushina from Naruto's mind. How did you know I was your mother's second rook? Asked Anko, looking at Naruto confused. Hey-8, Yugao and Kurenai looked at each other before then looking at Naruto. My mother is alive, she told me, said Naruto. That's not funny, Naruto, said Kurenai, narrowing her eyes at Naruto, who looked at her unwavering. She is alive, not in the same form as you knew she is the Kyuubi, said Naruto, getting raised eyebrows from the four people in front of him. When she had the Kyuubi sealed in her, she began to merge with it. When the Kyuubi was sealed into me, Kaa-chan and Tusan sealed parts of their own souls in me as well. Kaa-chan's soul latched onto the Kyuubi, and she fought with it for control of its body, and she won, said Naruto, making the four of them look at him unbelievingly. Sochi, I have an idea, but you're going to have to trust me, spoke Kushina from within Naruto's mind. As much as I want to believe you, Naruto, it sounds so unbelievable, said Yugao with a sad smile, looking at the blonde. The blonde himself closed his eyes with a sigh, making them look at him. However, what no one expected was for his eyes to snap open. His normal blue eyes were replaced with blood-red ones, and before anyone could anything, Naruto's hands came together in a hand sign. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, called Naruto in a distinctly feminine voice, and a plume of red smoke appeared beside the table. Oh, that's better, spoke the same feminine voice from before. Kushina-sama, questioned the four reincarnated devils at the table. I told you all not to call me that, spoke Kushina, narrowing her eyes at the four devils. Sorry, spoke the ninja in unison. It's fine, you lot, just remember, don't call me Sama, declared Kushina, getting a nod from the four ninja. You gonna scoot over so I can sit, or do I just stand for the night? Asked Kushina with a grin before the sitting group of ninja moved around, making room for Kushina. Just as she sat down, an ANBU appeared next to their table. Onini, spoke Naruto, happily seeing the masked ninja. Hello, Alucard, said Kushina, not even looking at the ninja. It has been a while, Kushina-sama, said the masked man, reaching up to his mask, pulling it off, revealing his pale face, blood-red eyes, and long black hair. Alucard, nice to see you again, said Ceres, looking at her former master. As it is to see you, Ceres, spoke Alucard with a smile, looking at his former servant. I see you have once more followed in my path, and been reborn as a devil, Ceres, said Alucard with a smirk, sensing the power within Ceres. She is a mutation queen, my mutation queen, said Naruto, smirking as he saw the surprised look on Alucard's face, as well as the looks on everyone else's faces minus Ceres and Kushina. You may grow stronger than me yet, Ceres, said Alucard with a smirk, before looking to Kushina. Before anything else, I must ask how you are alive, mistress, questioned Alucard, looking confusedly at Kushina. Long story short, I am the Kyuubi, said Kushina, getting a nod from Alucard. Hang on, how did you find us here? Questioned Kushina, looking at her vampiric servant. I felt a small Yukai pulse, and I felt it best to investigate because it was either Naruto or Rouge Yukai, said Alucard. Fair enough, spoke Kushina with a shrug. Next day. Naruto groaned as light flooded into his room. However, unlike the day before, Naruto woke up with an arm draped over his chest. Looking over at the sleeping face of Ceres, Naruto felt content with the woman sleeping beside him. Naruto looked over to the clock sitting on the bedside table, showing 6 o'clock. Naruto smiled and lay back. Is this a better experience, Naruto? Asked Ceres, not even opening her eyes. Ceres, I didn't wake you, did I? Questioned Naruto, looking at the woman. No, I have been awake for about 10 minutes, spoke Ceres. Thank you for sleeping with me, Ceres, said Naruto with a smile. Ceres opened her eyes and smiled back at Naruto. No problem, Naruto, said Ceres, hugging Naruto tightly. He just smiled, enjoying the contact. Naruto, can I ask a question? Questioned Ceres. You just did, but go on, said Naruto. Are you thinking of making Shisui a part of your peerage? Questioned Ceres. I'm not sure he is quite skilled, which is something I'm looking for, but I don't know. But there is something I need to know before I even contemplate it, said Naruto. Oh, and that would be? Asked Ceres. Where his loyalties lie. If he's blindly loyal to Konoha, there is no way in hell I'm going to convert him, declared Naruto. So you want him to be loyal to what, his family? Questioned Ceres, confused. Yeah, if he's more loyal to family than to the village, he could be worth it, but otherwise I'm not even going to try and convert him because I'm not sure how long I plan to stay in Konoha, said Naruto. Oh, you're not planning on staying here? Questioned Ceres. No, even being here the last 3 days, it makes me realize that this place is not for me. It's just a matter of how long I plan to stay and where I will go, declared Naruto. If you want Naruto, I could test his loyalty today while you train, questioned Sarah, looking at Naruto. Nothing actually putting his family in danger, I hope, questioned Naruto. No, I will pose him a question which would reveal his loyalty, said Sarah. Several hours later. Naruto stood in the clearing, Sarah standing behind him as he looked at Shisui walking out onto the lake in the middle of the clearing. So the idea of the water walking is similar to tree walking, but it's not a solid surface, so you have to constantly adjust the amount of chakra in your feet, spoke Shisui from atop the water, looking at Naruto, who nodded. I would suggest you strip to boxers so you don't get your clothes wet, suggested Shisui, getting a nod from Naruto, who quickly stripped, before moving his hands into the Kage Bunshin sign before he formed 50 clones who were equally dressed. Remember, once you clones make some headway, dispel so the rest of you gain the experience, said Shisui, getting a nod from the horde of Narutos who quickly begun to try and walk out onto the water. Shisui himself moved back over to the shoreline, walking over to a tree that he sat down under and watched as Naruto slowly begun to walk on water. Sarah, who had been watching from nearby, walked over to Shisui. She sat down next to him. Can I help you with something, Sarah-san? Questioned Shisui. No, I just came to sit here. It's more out of the sun, spoke Sarah, wincing as she looked up at the sun. Yeah, I have seen you avoiding the sun a lot. What, you burn easily? Questioned Shisui. Well, yeah, I am a vampire, said Sarah, making Shisui turn to her with a raised brow before turning back to Naruto. So Shisui-san, do you have any siblings? Asked Sarah, making the black-haired man turn to her once more. Biological siblings, no friends as close as. Yeah, I have a couple. Why do you ask? Questioned Shisui. I'm just curious, spoke Sarah, looking out at Naruto, watching as he sunk into the water and had to swim back to the shore to start again. Just hypothetically, if one of these friends of yours was going to be executed by the village for something they didn't do and you knew they didn't do it, but it was apparently for the safety of the village, what would you do? Questioned Sarah. Shisui looked at her confused. What's with the weird questions all of a sudden? Asked Shisui, looking at the woman. I'm just curious what kind of person is training Naruto, said Sarah, without a care in the world. Well, if it was in the best interest of the village, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would let them do it, said Shisui, narrowing his eyes, looking at the ground. Okay, fair enough, spoke Sarah, looking up into the tree. Several hours later. I've almost got it, I swear, muttered Naruto, walking up to the tree under which Sarah and Shisui sat before he sat down in front of them. It was looking pretty good, Naruto. I think by this time tomorrow you should have it down, muttered Shisui, looking up at the sky. Well, it's about time I head off. You good today, Naruto? Asked Shisui, looking at his student, who nodded as Shisui stood up. All right, I'll see you two tomorrow, said Shisui, vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Naruto waited for a minute before turning to Sarah. I take it you asked him your question, asked Naruto once he was sure Shisui was gone. Yeah, he is more loyal to the village than he is to family, or at least that's what I get from what I asked him, said Sarah. Naruto nodded as he stood up, putting his clothes back on. After a few moments, Naruto walked back over to Sarah. It's time for us to go to Sarah, said Naruto, walking out of the clearing as Sarah, once more following her usual pattern, she got up and sunk into his shadow. Naruto once more walked through the village, getting glares from all of the villagers. Again ignoring the villagers, Naruto moved through the crowds of villagers and into the alleyways, not wanting to deal with the villagers and their glares. Moving towards his home through the alleyways was a breeze, and the lack of villagers and their glares was a rather nice bonus. Making his way into his house, Naruto was quite thankful to be home, and after walking in, he made a beeline for the kitchen so he could make himself something to eat. He had just finished a full day of training and he was hungry. As Naruto stepped into his kitchen, Sarah rose out of his shadow and began making her way to the room she had claimed to find something to read for a while. Naruto, called a voice from somewhere in the house. In the kitchen, Luffy-chan, called Naruto, making himself a simple sandwich. Naruto then heard shuffling. Not bothering to turn around, he assumed that it was Luffy. Naruto, once you are done, can I speak with you? Asked Luffy. Sure, just give me a few moments, said Naruto, quickly finishing his sandwich. Taking the food, Naruto moved into the lounge room where he found Luffy sitting on one of the couches with the bishop piece sitting on the coffee table between the couches. I take it this is about the offer I made, questioned Naruto, quickly taking a bite out of his sandwich. I've made my decision, said Luffy. Kushina's peerage. Queen. Knight Yugo. Knight Hayate. Rook Anko. Rook. Bishop, x2, Alucard. Pawn, x4, Kurenai. Pawn, x4. Alright people, chapter over. Chapter 12, Return to the Leaf V. I don't own Naruto or DxD. I've made my decision, said Luffy. Oh, and, questioned Naruto, looking at her with a raised eyebrow. I'll do it. I'll be reborn as a member of your peerage. You saved me when I was starving and helped me searching for my brother, and you have said you won't stop me from trying to find him. I'll become your servant, said Luffy. Alright, but I will correct you on one thing, you won't be my servant. I don't hold myself above my peerage, said Naruto, smiling at the girl before taking the bishop from her. Come, let's get this sorted, said Naruto, giving Luffy the come here gesture. The girl nodded and followed her soon-to-be king. The two walked to Naruto's room. Lay down, this shouldn't take more than a minute, said Naruto, pointing to his bed, getting a nod from the girl as she quickly lay down on the rather comfy bed. Naruto quickly picked up his pawns from a nearby chessboard to make sure Luffy was worth a bishop. The blonde devil was sure she was, but just wanted to make sure. Just hold still, I want to make sure of something first, said Naruto, walking over to his bed, getting a quick nod from the blonde girl. Naruto lay a pawn on Luffy's chest. It didn't glow, nor did a second. With a third, the three pawns began to glow. Naruto nodded his head, taking the three pawns from her chest before putting the bishop he had used to make the proposal to her in the first place. So, I did learn a little about the evil pieces when I was with the Golden Dawn, but what's the difference between the pieces? Questioned Luffy. Well, pawns are basic pieces, nothing too special about them. Rooks give the devil a large boost in strength, but it costs them speed. The knights gains the speed boost, but at the cost of their magical prowess. The bishop spoke Naruto, interrupted by Luffy. Let me guess, better magic, worse strength? Questioned the girl, getting a nod from Naruto. Correct, and finally the queen gains the boosts of all three with none of the drawbacks, said Naruto, getting a nod from the girl. Now I'm about to begin the process, so please don't interrupt, said Naruto, getting a nod from his soon-to-be bishop. I commendeth thee as Naruto Phoenix Grimory. Mine command, Luffy Pendragon, is that thou shalt serve me as a magician to the best of your abilities. I seal this contract. Be reborn, declared Naruto. Luffy was shocked as a magical ring formed beneath her as the blood-red bishop piece on her chest began to sink into her chest. After a moment the piece was gone, making Luffy's body glow brightly for a moment before the glow died down as Luffy sat up. A pair of half-bat-like wings and half-blue flame wings flared out of her back. And like that, you are now my bishop, said Naruto with a smile. Next morning. Naruto was walking with Ceres in his shadow and Luffy next to him towards the training ground he was learning from Shisui in. Ceres, as usual, was there to protect Naruto. Luffy, however, was following Naruto, so she knew where he was, as today she was going to search for any information on her brother's whereabouts and wanted to know where Naruto would be if she needed some more help. Morning, Naruto, said Shisui as the two visible devils walked into the training grounds. Naruto nodded and waved to the man. Who's your friend, Naruto? A long-lost sister? Questioned Shisui, looking at the two with a raised eyebrow. No, what makes you think that? Questioned Naruto, looking at Luffy and then to Shisui. Blonde hair, blue eyes, similar-ish faces, listed Shisui, looking at the two, making the two young devils look at each other before shrugging. No, Shisui-sensei, this is my friend Luffy. Luffy-chan, this is my sensei Shisui, said Naruto with a smile, introducing the two. Nice to meet ya, said Shisui with a grin. As it is to meet you, Shisui-san, said Luffy with a slight curtsy. I'll see you later, Naruto, said Luffy, turning and walking away after getting a nod from Naruto. Why did she even come here if she was just going to leave? Asked Shisui, looking at Naruto confused as Ceres began to rise out of Naruto's shadow. She wanted to know where I am in case she needs my help, said Naruto, getting a nod from Shisui. Alright, well, time to train, water walking, get to it, said Shisui. Naruto nodded and walked over to the water's edge and began stripping to his boxers before cloning himself. Several hours later. Shisui-sensei, I've got it, called Naruto, standing atop the water in the middle of the lake. Good job, Naruto, now you just have to learn to do it instinctively, said Shisui with a sadistic smirk. Naruto's eyes widened as a kunai came flying at him. Naruto jumped out of the way, sinking into the water a bit as he landed. While he was unbalanced from his landing, Shisui tossed another kunai at him, making him jump into the air to avoid the second kunai. When he landed, Naruto slipped straight into the water. When Naruto surfaced, he saw Shisui with kunai in hand with a grin on his face. Hang on a second, Shisui-sensei, said Naruto, swimming back to shore before he flared his devil flames, drying his skin in an instant before he ran over to his clothes. What's the matter, Naruto? Asked Shisui, confused. Nothing you need to worry about, Shisui-sensei, I'll be back shorty, said Naruto, quickly putting on his pants before a teleportation circle appeared beneath his feet, which quickly rose up, engulfing him in a glow before he was gone. What the hell was that? Questioned Shisui, looking at where Naruto just stood. A teleportation circle, said Sarah simply. With Naruto. Naruto grimaced as he appeared in his apartment's bedroom in his building. Naruto looked around before quickly moving out of the bedroom just in time for a knock to sound at the door. Naruto quickly moved to the door. Who is it? Asked Naruto, already knowing full well who it was, but he needed to keep up appearances. It's me, Naruto, called a grandfatherly voice from the other side of the door. Gigi, screamed Naruto, happily swinging the door open, inwardly throwing up at the thought of having to call the man anything affectionate. Are you okay, Naruto-kun? You haven't been seen outside for the past couple of days? Asked Hiruzen with a smile. I'm fine, Gigi, you don't need to check on me, said Naruto, once more casting a demonic illusion over the man, making his mind latch onto certain words, and planting into his mind that he didn't need to check on Naruto ever. Well, okay, I guess you're a big boy now. Anyway, the other reason I came over, it's lunchtime. Would you like it, Shiraku's? Questioned Hiruzen with a grandfatherly smile. Naruto saw past the man's fake smile. The man had lost all respect the boy had for him, but once more Naruto needed to keep up appearances. Sure, Gigi, just give me a minute to get ready, said Naruto with a grin, moving into his room, closing the door behind him. Naruto's hands formed a cross as he molded his chakra. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, muttered Naruto quietly as a clone formed next to him. Naruto, the real one, quickly jumped up to the ceiling and used his chakra to stick there out of the view of the open door, while the clone grabbed an orange jacket from the cupboard and walked out the door to meet Hiruzen as the two left. Naruto, after waiting a few moments to make sure Hiruzen was gone, dropped from the ceiling and once more was engulfed in a glow as a teleportation circle appeared beneath his feet and rose up, making him disappear. Back at the training ground. Naruto appeared back at the training grounds with Shisui leaning back on a tree and Ceres sitting with Luffy, who had apparently returned. The two girls were sitting under a tree away from Shisui. I'm back, said Naruto, making all three people look at him. Do you need my help, Luffy-chan? Asked Naruto, looking at the girl. She gave him a sad look and shook her head. No, none of the people I asked had any idea he might not have been here, said Luffy with a sad smile. Don't worry, Luffy-chan, we'll find him, I promise you that, said Naruto with a smile. The girl nodded with a grateful smile. Naruto then turned back to Shisui. All right, Sensei, I'm ready to go again, said Naruto. Well, you know the deal, you are going to get wet with this, said Shisui. Naruto nodded and moved over to the shore and stripped to his boxers. Walking out onto the water, Naruto turned back to Shisui, who had kunai in his hands. Naruto glared down his teacher as the man began to throw kunai at Naruto. Is this what his training is always like? Questioned Luffy, looking to Sarah's confused. No, this is the first time Shisui has brought out kunai. He's training Naruto to control his chakra. Walking on water apparently helps, as Naruto has to send chakra to his feet to stay afloat, and the kunai throwing is to help Naruto begin to do the water walking instinctively, said Ceres. This seems a little unsafe, said Luffy, looking at Naruto worriedly. If Shisui hurts Naruto beyond necessary, he will answer to me, and Naruto has a great healing factor, so if he gets small cuts from kunai, they'll be healed rather quickly, said Ceres with a reassuring smile. If his healing factor is so good, then how come the scars on his back aren't healed? Asked Luffy, looking to Ceres for answers. We're not entirely sure why they didn't heal, but they were done before Naruto went to the underworld, said Ceres. A comfortable silence formed between the two as they watched their king train. Hey Ceres-san, spoke Luffy. Hummed Ceres, indicating she was listening. Do you know who carved Daemon into Naruto's back? Asked Luffy, making Ceres look at her with a contemplative look on her face. I do, spoke the woman simply. Who was it? But more to the point, did they get punished for it? Asked Luffy. It's not my place to tell who, and I don't know if he got punished for it, said Ceres with a growl, just thinking about the memory of Naruto she had observed. So it's a he? Questioned Luffy, getting a nod from Ceres. Yes, declared Ceres. Later that day. The sun had set, Shisui had left, Naruto had mastered the water walking exercise to Shisui's satisfaction, and Naruto was quickly putting his clothes back on. After Naruto had put his clothes on, he walked over to his two peerage members. All right, you two, let's head home, said Naruto, getting a nod from both girls, who nodded and began to follow Naruto. Ceres fell into Naruto's shadow as the two others walked out of the training ground. Go on without me, Luffy-chan, there's something I need to do, said Naruto with a smile. The girl didn't like what he was saying, but nodded and walked away from Naruto, rounding a corner out of his sight. Naruto himself then walked along the streets. He knew people were gathering, preparing to attack him. He knew it, and for that reason he had sent Luffy on without him. She didn't need to be around, as Naruto killed or maimed them. Walking on, Naruto ignored the crowd of people building up behind him and simply continued on his way. A few moments later, Naruto walked into a dead-end alleyway and stood there for a moment. Nowhere to run, Daemon, declared a voice from behind him. Naruto turned and saw that there were about 20 people standing in the alleyway entrance, all brandishing various improvised weapons. Who's running? Questioned Naruto in a bored tone. We don't know where you've been for the last year, but today you will finally pay for your crimes, monster, said another person. Said Naruto, examining his fingernails. That's it, roared a muscly man running forwards at Naruto. The man had a sword in hand, ready to slice Naruto in half. The man brought his sword up, ready to swing it at Naruto. However, just as he went to swing, a form rose out of Naruto's shadow, which was cast between the two. You will not lay a finger on my master, declared Ceres, her black and red aura cloaked claw hand wrapped around the blade. Who the fuck are you? Snarled the man. Your death, spoke Ceres with a psychotic grin as her free hand turned into a claw and pierced the man's chest before the man dropped to the ground dead. Instead of the smart option for the mob of being scared and running away, they became enraged and charged at Naruto and his queen. However, before they could even get close, a blue fireball flew at the front runners of the group, who were caught off guard and incinerated by the blue flames. What do you? Questioned some of the mob, looking to a nearby roof, only to a blonde girl. That's quite a nice boost to my magic, muttered Luffy, looking down at the ashes of the three men before she dropped into the alleyway beside Naruto and Ceres. Luffy? What are you doing here? Questioned Naruto. I'm not as innocent as you think I might be, Naruto. I have killed before I knew what was happening, and you are my master. I can't leave you like that, spoke Luffy, kneeling to Naruto before standing up and turning to face the mob with a pair of fireballs in her hands. Before Naruto could make any more complaints, his hands were flooded with yokai, and they moved on their own, forming the Kage Bunch and hand sign, and in front of the three devils formed a cloud of red smoke, which once cleared revealed Kushina glaring at the mob of people. You three head on home, I'll take care of these people, declared Kushina, looking back at the three young devils with a smile. No, this is my fight, said Naruto as a pair of blue fireballs appeared over his hands. I won't leave my master, spoke Ceres. Neither will I, declared Luffy. Well, in that case there's 16 left, 4 each, said Kushina, a devilish smirk appearing on her face. And it was at this moment the remaining members of the mob realized they fucked up. Hashtag the next morning hashtag. Naruto, with Ceres in her usual place, his shadow, walked into the training ground only to find for once he was first. Ceres quickly rose out of Naruto's shadow before finding a nice tree from which to watch today's training, while Naruto himself quickly walked over to the water and out onto the lake, where he stood and simply enjoyed the slow breeze blow past him. A few moments passed with not so much as a twig snap in the clearing, but the serenity of the area was broken when a pair of leafy cyclones kicked up in the middle of training ground. Naruto, hearing the new arrivals, turned to face his sensei and the person next to him. Naruto, Ceres called Shisui with a grin, waving to the two devils. Good morning, Shisui-sensei, said Naruto, walking back towards Shisui. Why are you training him, Shisui? He looks to be about academy age, questioned the man next to him, only for a fireball to sail past his face within inches of him. Well, it's not like I need training to defend myself from the villagers that hate my guts or anything, because all the ANBU that watch over me actually do their job, don't they, Weasel-san? Questioned Naruto, looking at the man who looked at the young blonde shocked. I'm a sensor. I have felt your chakra when you have been watching me, and I thank you for actually doing your job, said Naruto, bowing slightly towards the man. As you can see, the boy has a few rather unique skills that shouldn't be wasted, Itachi, and besides he wants to train. I have offered to let him leave early to hang out with friends, and he never does, said Shisui, looking to his friend, who simply nodded dumbly. I don't have any friends in this village, and everyone hates the fact that they breathe the same air as I do. I don't think I will make any friends here, said Naruto with a shrug. That's not true. I'm sure my mother and little brother would love to meet you. My mother has been curious about the student Shisui has been speaking of, said Itachi, making Naruto cast a half glare over at Shisui. Hey, I only told her that I was training someone, not who I was training, said Shisui with his hands up in surrender. How about it, Naruto? You want to meet Itachi's family? They're nice people. Well, Makoto and Sasuke are, said Shisui with a grin. Naruto thought about it for a moment. He knew Shisui was powerful. Maybe he could find someone with Shisui's level of skill, but more suited for his peerage. Sure, why not, said Naruto with a grin. Naruto's peerage. Queen, mutation piece, Ceres Victoria. Bishop, X1, Luffy Pendragon. Bishop, X1, dash. Knight, X2. Rook, X2. Pawn, X6, X2 mutation pieces? Alright people, chapter over. Chapter 13, Return to the Leaf 6. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Naruto, with Ceres behind him, Itachi and Shisui next to him, walked into the Uchiha compound. The young devil, despite the assurances of Shisui and Itachi, was nervous and on guard. Relax, Naruto, no one will hurt you with the two of us here, said Shisui. I know that, but that doesn't mean I trust them at all, muttered Naruto, his eyes flickering from person to person, making sure none of them were going to make a move against him. The four beings made their way towards the biggest house in the compound. Naruto kept on his guard. He had noticed several faces he remembered from mobs as they walked down the street. Ka-chan, Sasuke, I'm back and we have visitors, called Itachi as the four entered the house. Oh, Itachi, welcome home. Oh, hello, Shisui-kun, spoke a woman as she walked out of her room and saw the two people and two devils in the doorway. Naruto-sama, she has an illusion cast over her form, telepathically spoke Ceres to her master. I can tell, Ceres. My question is why, replied Naruto, trying to work out what she could be hiding. And who are your friends? I don't believe I've had the pleasure, said the woman, stepping forwards. She has a genjutsu over herself to cover the bruises, declared Kushina in Naruto's mind. You know her, Ka-chan? Questioned Naruto. Makoto, this is Naruto Uzumaki, my apprentice, and Sarah's Victoria, his bodyguard, said Shursui, looking back at Sarah's with a confused look, not sure what to call her. She just shrugged. He was in the dark about devils, so bodyguard worked. Makoto's eyes widened at the mention of Naruto's name. Had he not have been trained by devils for a year, he might have missed the expression change. Yeah, I'm Naruto's bodyguard. Nice to meet you, spoke Sarah's with a smile as she listened in on the conversation her master was having with his mother. She and I were as close as sisters. I would have made her a member of my peerage, but unfortunately she was already engaged to her abusive husband and couldn't risk her knowing about devils and slipping up and telling him, spoke Kushina. Why didn't you stop him then? Questioned Naruto in his mind. Nice to meet you, Makoto-san, said Naruto with a smile. Partaking in multiple conversations was a piece of cake for him, so talking with Kushina, Sarah's, and Makoto was easy. Please call me Makoto, spoke the woman. I tried to help her, I tried to stop him, but she asked me not to interfere. She was already pregnant with Itachi and didn't want him to be without a father, and as much as I didn't want to, I left it alone, doing what I could, offering her a place to stay if she needed it, offering her a shoulder to cry on, being there if she needed to talk with someone. Spoke Kushina in annoyance. She had tried everything to help Makoto, even going so far as to pull Minato in on the issue, but his hands were also tied. Even as Hokage, there was only so much he could do without evidence, which Makoto refused to supply them with. Sasuke, come down here, we have visitors, yelled Makoto. I won't ask this of you often, Naruto, but please trust Makoto. Don't dismiss her like any of the other villagers. Be nice to her, treat her like you would me, Vanillana, or Ruby, begged Kushina. I'll try my best, Kaa-chan, replied Naruto before he saw a boy that looked somewhat like Makoto and Itachi appear at the end of the hallway. Sasuke, this is Naruto, he is Shursue's apprentice, and this is Sarah's, Naruto's bodyguard, said Makoto, introducing Sasuke to the two devils. Hello, it's nice to meet you, said Sasuke with a smile, walking over to the two devils. Nice to meet you too, Sasuke-san, said Naruto with a smile, shaking the ebony-haired boy's hand. Yeah, nice to meet you to Naruto-san, said Sasuke, shaking Naruto's hand before he turned to Sarah's, getting a nod from the woman, which he retuned. So what can we do for you three? Asked Makoto with a smile. Naruto doesn't know many people around the village, so I thought I'd introduce him to some of mine, hence Itachi, who thought it might be nice to introduce him to you too, said Shursui with a grin. Well, you're always welcome here, Naruto-kun, spoke Makoto with a smile. Thank you, Makoto, said Naruto with a smile of his own. Let's go to the sitting room, follow me, spoke Makoto, leading the group away from the doorway into a room with several couches and other cushioned chairs. However, the first thing Naruto noticed was a large picture on the wall. The picture had Makoto, Itachi, Sasuke, and another man in it. Makoto stood in the middle of the picture with a hand on a smiling Sasuke's shoulder. On the right of the two was an almost sour-looking Itachi. Finally, to the left of Makoto and Sasuke was a bored-looking man. What a lovely picture, said Naruto, trying to contain his anger. Yes, it is a nice picture, isn't it? Such a shame Fugaku is out. I'm sure he'd like to meet you, Naruto, spoke Makoto again. If it weren't for the training he had in the underworld, Naruto would have never noticed the small amount of hate when she mentioned Fugaku. Anyway, I will get us some tea, said Makoto with a smile, walking out of the room. I'll help you, said Naruto, standing up to follow her. I couldn't ask you to do that, please, you're my guest, spoke Makoto. I insist, declared Naruto, walking over to her, getting a sigh from Makoto. Okay, come on then, Naruto, said Makoto, walking out of the room, Naruto following behind her. The two quickly walked into the kitchen where they began to prepare the tea. So what did you want to talk to me about, Naruto? Questioned Makoto. You knew? I should have known you're a fully trained kunoichi, after all, muttered Naruto before shaking his head and looking up at her. I know who you are, Makoto, who you were to my mother and who she was to you, said Naruto, making Makoto's eyes shoot wide open. How? Questioned the woman. You are better off not knowing, said Naruto, getting an unsure look from Makoto. I'm telling you this so I can tell you if you need to get away from Fugaku for a night. My door, my parents' old home, is open, or you need someone to listen to you, I will. You need a shoulder to cry on, I will be there for you, said Naruto. Why you know about Fugaku to H how? Questioned Mikoto, looking at Naruto terrified. I'll just say that I have been on the wrong side of his sadism and we will leave it at that, spoke Naruto, wincing at the memories, getting a nod from Mikoto. Thank you, Naruto-kun, but I will ask of you please don't tell Itachi or Sasuke about Fugaku, spoke Mikoto, getting a nod from Naruto. With their various pieces said, the two quickly went about finishing their task of gathering the tea before returning to the sitting room. Several hours later. Having spent several hours with Itachi and his family, Naruto, Sarah, and Chirasue were headed back to the training grounds to begin some training. Alright Naruto, I have something I want you to do before we begin today, said Chirasue, reaching into his weapon pouch. What's that, Chirasue-sensei? Asked Naruto, turning to face the man as he pulled out a small square of paper. You finished your water walking yesterday. I want you to channel your chakra into this piece of paper, declared Chirasue, handing the paper to Naruto, who looked at it with a raised eyebrow. This is chakra paper. It reacts differently depending on your chakra nature, said Chirasue as Naruto took the paper and held it between his middle and index fingers, and with a pulse of his chakra the paper split down the middle before the left side burst into flames and the right became sopping wet. A triple affinity. You are just full of surprises, Naruto, said Chirasue. What do they mean? Questioned Naruto. Well, the splitting represents futon, the burning surprise is katan, and the water-soaked paper represents sueton, spoke Chirasue. Well, katan and futon aren't all that surprising, thought Naruto, looking at the remains of the paper. I had planned to teach you a jutsu from your affinity, but now with this you have a choice. I will teach you a jutsu for each, but to begin with it's probably better to start with one element because multiple elements can get confusing, said Chirasue, getting a nod from Naruto. Well, I think given my affinity for fire that would be a good place to start, said Naruto, getting a nod from Chirasue. Alright, we will start with the Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu or Fire-style Fireball Jutsu. It's a basic Katan Jutsu. You need to make these hand signs, said Chirasue before he demonstrated the short chain of hand signs for Naruto, who quickly copied them. These are the snake, ram, monkey, boar, horse, and tiger hand signs, 6 of the 12 basic hand signs, and while you make these hand signs you push chakra into your lungs trying to convert the chakra into flames, and then you breathe those flames out into the shape of a ball like so, said Chirasue, turning around before he flipped through hand signs. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu, called Chirasue, breathing out a ball of flames out over the lake the two had been using for water walking. The ball of fire was 5 feet in diameter and flew about 20 feet across the lake before it exploded outwards. Alright Naruto, you try now, and no cheating with your flame magic, said Chirasue, narrowing his eyes at Naruto, whose eyebrow rose as the implication before he stepped up to the lake's edge and flipped through the hand signs shown to him. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu, called Naruto, breathing out a ball of blue fire about half the size of the one Chirasue had demonstrated that flew out about 10 feet before exploding in the same way Chirasue's had. That seems a little too good for a first try, said Chirasue, suspiciously looking at Naruto. I picked learning about fire first because I have a great understanding of the element and figured it would be the simplest one to work with, declared Naruto, getting a thoughtful nod from Chirasue. Alright, well, show me again, said Chirasue, his eyes morphing to the red with 3 black tomo rotating around his pupil. Naruto nodded. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu. Several hours later. Naruto and Sarah walked into his house after his training. Before Naruto could so much take off his shoes he went rigid. Be back in a minute, declared Naruto as a teleportation circle appeared beneath his feet, which quickly rose up engulfing the blonde. Apartment complex. Naruto once more appeared in his apartment's bedroom. Walking out of the room, Naruto moved to the door. As he reached the door there was a knock. Opening the door he came face to face with a purple-haired cat masked ANBU. Just you Yugao? Questioned Naruto. Even if it is while on duty, I am Nico, okay? Questioned Yugao from behind her mask, getting a nod from Naruto. But yes, it is just me, said the woman. Well, for future reference for you and the rest of Kaa-chan's peerage, I am staying in her old house, said Naruto, getting a nod from Yugao. I'll be sure to let them know, but as for why I am here, Hokage-sama wishes to speak with you, spoke Yugao. What does that bastard want with me? Questioned Naruto, narrowing his eyes, making Yugao do a double take. What happened between the two of you? You loved him like a grandfather, questioned Yugao. I am not a person, I am a tool, was all Naruto needed to say before Yugao nodded. From what I gather it's about the academy, said Yugao, getting a nod from Naruto, who closed the door and begun to walk down the stairs. He was still wanting to be a ninja, but Konoha was defiantly not the village he wanted to fight for. The blonde had time to think as he walked to the Hokage's office. He could quite easily tell Hiruzen to get fucked and be done with everything, but Shisui was actually teaching him quite well and didn't want to lose that, and if he left Konoha he would. Sure, he could find a new sensei in a new village, but who knows how long that would be. He didn't even have an idea which village he would defect to, so as much as Naruto didn't like it, he would have to bide his time and go to Konoha Academy, or at least a clone would, while he trained himself or his peerage. Hey Gigi, said Naruto, walking into Hiruzen's office. Once again Naruto once more internally gagged at having to call the man something positive to keep up appearances. Naruto-kun, just in time. I was going through the academy entrance forms and remembered you have turned 8 and that's the minimum entrance age, and you have been telling me for years you're going to take my hat, said Hiruzen with a smile. Where are the forms, Gigi? Questioned Naruto excitedly while inwardly rolling his eyes. Shisui was a better trainer than any of the academy instructors. He didn't even need to have attended the academy for even a day to know that. Naruto knew that generally only chunin were assigned to be academy instructors, maybe the occasional jonin, but they never were anything special. Right here Naruto-kun, I need these back by tomorrow. Ask Tsuchi-san to help you if you run into trouble on something, and I'll sign them for you, said Hiruzen, getting a nod from Naruto before the elderly man handed Naruto a couple of pages, which he took. Is that all, Gigi? Asked Naruto, looking at Takagi, who nodded to Naruto. I'll see you tomorrow, Naruto-kun. Enjoy your evening, said Hiruzen, getting back to his work. Naruto quickly walked down the stairs of the tower and out Ono the street before narrowing his eyes as he could feel the eyes of Hiruzen's damn orb on him as he walked down the street. The blonde just hoped to whatever divine beings were watching him were on his side and let him make it to his apartment without trouble. Thankfully for him, it appeared luck was on his side for once, as he easily made it to his apartment trouble-free. Walking into his actual apartment, Naruto quickly moved to his bedroom. Thankfully, once the blonde was in his room, Naruto felt the presence of Hiruzen vanish, meaning he was no longer watching over the blonde, which left Naruto free to let a teleportation circle appear beneath his feet, quickly moving up and engulfing him before the blonde teleported back to his home. #Naruto's house. Naruto appeared in a small plume of fire in the front hall with a sigh before he walked into the dining room. Naruto? What's wrong? You look like someone kicked your puppy, questioned Luffy, looking at her master. I just had to deal with Sarutobi, and he gave me forms about joining the academy, muttered Naruto as he sat down at the table. And you haven't just thrown them away because, questioned Ceres. Even if I don't plan to stay here, if I can't do things that shatter the facade I have been forming, Sarutobi needs to think I am still loyal to this village and still aiming to be Hokage, which I can't exactly do without becoming a ninja, and beside I am Konoha's Jinchuriki, so there is no way I'm not going to be made into a ninja. So even if I don't give Sarutobi the forms, he will still have a set filled out and a bullshit reason for me to be a ninja, even if I didn't want to be, declared Naruto. Jinchuri what? Questioned Luffy. Jinchuriki, the term in this world for those with yukai sealed in them, said Naruto, getting a nod from the girl. And despite that, I haven't decided on where I am going to go once I defect, said Naruto. I would suggest you steer clear of Suna and IWA, as Suna is allied with us and IWA hated your father, said a voice from behind them, making the three devils turn ready to attack. However, when they saw who it was, Naruto and Ceres let their power recede, making Luffy do the same. Alucard, not that I don't enjoy your company, but why are you here? Asked Naruto. I finished my ANBU shift and Yugao told me you were staying here. I came to make sure you are comfortable and that no one has been troubling you, said Alucard, getting a nod from Naruto. Thank you, we are fine, and the only people who have been troubling us seem to have mysteriously vanished, said Naruto, his tone turning confused towards the end. But given you are here, you could probably give me some information of the elemental nations at large, seeing as you've ruled out Iwa and Suna. Anything else you can tell me? Questioned Naruto. Well, the tensions between Konoha and Kumo have been rising since they attempted to abduct one of the Hyuga when they signed the peace treaty, so they might be a good option if for nothing else as a fuck you to Sarutobi. Then I hear the Mizukage is going nuts in Kiri, so I'm not sure about that, said Alucard. 282 Chapter 14, Academy Arc I. I don't own Naruto or DxD. Naruto sat under a tree. Watching over him from in the tree was Ceres, and next to Naruto was Sasuke. Naruto was hanging out with Sasuke. Shisui had village patrol for the day, so Naruto's training was canned, so he was hanging out with Sasuke as Luffy had heard a rumor from a nearby village and had gone to investigate. You don't mind if I train a bit, do you? Asked Sasuke, looking to the blonde, who shook his head. Sasuke stood up and walked down to the edge of the pond just in front of them. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu, Fire-style Fireball Jutsu, called Sasuke, shooting out a small fireball over the lake that backfired, launching him backwards onto the ground. Damn it, growled the boy, once more failing his clan's rite of passage jutsu. Naruto looked down at Sasuke as he tried again, once more used the jutsu, again failing, the fireball exploding just in front of him. Naruto raised an eyebrow and focused his sensing ability on Sasuke as the jutsu once more and again failing. Do you want a hand? Questioned Naruto, making Sasuke look at Naruto. You know how to use the fireball jutsu? Questioned Sasuke with a shocked look on his face. Shisui-sensei taught it to me, said Naruto, walking forwards until he stood next to Sasuke before he flipped through hand signs. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu, called Naruto, shooting a light blue fireball about 5 foot in diameter, 20 foot out across the lake where it exploded. Naruto turned to Sasuke, who was shocked. Wait, why was your fire blue? Questioned Sasuke. It's a Kekkai Genkai I have, said Naruto without as much as a blink. Okay, I guess, spoke Sasuke. So do you want my help? Asked Naruto, looking at Sasuke, who begrudgingly nodded. For starters, you're not using enough chakra, and you're breathing it out way too slowly. You're not making a long stream of fire here, it's a ball of fire, said Naruto, looking out over the lake as the final embers of his fireball vanished. All right, muttered Sasuke, stepping forwards once more, thinking about what Naruto has said. Sasuke quickly flipped through the hand signs once more. Katan Gokakyu no Jutsu, called the Uchiha, launching out a near-perfect fireball. It was a little small and exploded early, but he almost had it. Sasuke looked at where the jutsu had been, in shock. That was so much better, said Sasuke in shock. Keep at it and you'll have it in no time, said Naruto with a smile. Thanks, Naruto, said Sasuke with a grin as he began once more to try the jutsu. I'm going to leave you to your practice then, Sasuke, said Naruto, walking back towards the tree. All right, Naruto, see you in a couple of days, said Sasuke. Yep, see you then, declared Naruto. The two of them would start at the academy in a few days. Naruto was planning on going on the first day to at the very least see if anyone would be worth his time, but if there wasn't, he would simply send a clone every day until he eventually left Konoha. Walking away from Sasuke, Ceres dropped from her perch and dropped into Naruto's shadow. The two quickly left the Uchiha compound, heading home. He had training of his own to attend to. Hashtag 10 minutes later. Hashtag. Naruto walked up to his compound only to see Anko, Kurenai Yugao, and Hei-8 waiting there. What can I do for you for? Questioned Naruto, looking at them confused. He hadn't been expecting them. This isn't something we can discuss outside, declared Anko. Okay, then come on in, said Naruto, opening the gate and walking inside straight into the house. Would you like some tea? Questioned Naruto, looking at his mother's peerage members, all of who nodded. Naruto walked into the kitchen and began to brew some tea. The house was silent as Naruto waited for the water to boil. Naruto, this seems urgent. You go talk to them, I'll handle the tea, said Ceres, appearing behind Naruto, who nodded and walked out of the room. Tea will be ready shortly, so what is it I can do for you? Asked Naruto, looking at his four friends. Alucard told me, and I told them that you plan to defect from Konoha, said Yugao, looking at Naruto as he took a seat. Naruto closed his eyes, taking a deep breath before opening his eyes. Yes, spoke Naruto, looking at the ninja in front of him. Where do you plan to go? Asked Anko. I'm not sure yet. Suna and Iwa are out of the question, but Kiri, Kumo, and all of the minor villages are still on the table, said Naruto, looking at the 4 reincarnated devils as if daring them to defy him. When you have made your decision on where and when, let us know, said Kurenai. Huh? Questioned Naruto, looking at them confused. We promised your mother we would protect you, and we have as best we could, but the Hokage blocked us from the easier measures like adopting you, said Anko. That would be because I'm not the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. I am Konoha's weapon, spoke Naruto, rolling his eyes. What? Questioned Heiei, Kurenai, and Anko, looking at Naruto confused. He sees me as a weapon, he hides it well, but I'm not human, I am his weapon, spoke Naruto, making Heiei, Anko, and Kurenai go wide-eyed before narrowing their eyes. It was at that moment Ceres walked out with the pot of tea. With the way the village treats you, and that, why are you even still here? Asked Anko, looking at Naruto. I'm only still here because Shisui Uchiha is training me, otherwise I would be wandering the world or back in the underworld, said Naruto. Wait, Shisui is training you? Questioned Yugao, looking at Naruto shocked. Yeah, apparently he saw me use my pyrokinesis when I first used it, and felt that my abilities should not be wasted, so when I got back from the underworld he offered to teach me, said Naruto. So what, you're going to stay until Shisui has taught you all he knows? Questioned Anko. No, I will stay as long as I can stand the village. I've only had one group of people attack me, and they are now ashes scattered in the wind, said Naruto, getting accepting looks from the people in front of him. Anyway, Naruto, when you decide where and when you are going, let us know, we are going with you, said Yugao, getting a nod from the blonde. Hashtag several days later. Hashtag Naruto sat on a tree branch overlooking the academy. It was about half an hour before the academy was scheduled to start. He was only here early to see if there was anyone he could use for his peerage. He was looking for young people who would more easily follow him over Konoha, but so far there was no one. First, there was a white-eyed, purple-haired girl who was clearly terrified of being there and was less than skilled with whatever skills she had, as she had 3 different bodyguards, and from the looks of it, her father. Even if she was an heiress out and about, she wouldn't need that many people to watch over her if she could defend herself. Unless she did something amazing to change his view, she was out. Next was a pink-haired girl standing with her 2 parents. She too looked nervous, but less so than the first girl, but still nervous nonetheless. He could sense she had next to no chakra at all, and from the reserves of her parents, nothing short of a miracle would change that. She also appeared to not have trained her body at all, which even if she was young was a no-no for ninja. Again, something amazing could change his view, but he wasn't expecting anything from her. There was a young cloaked boy who had hundreds of chakra signatures in him, an Aburium from what he had read about in Konoha clans, and Kushina had told him their bugs couldn't suck out devil's magical power, so there was nothing too much there, especially given if he was converted, his magic would be fire magic, and fire and bugs don't go. Naruto ruled the boy out as soon as he saw him. Naruto looked down the road when he felt something out of place. That's a devil's signature, 4 of them, and 5 half-bloods, questioned Naruto, looking down the road, seeing 12 people walking down the road towards the academy. Your father's rooks and bishops and their children, spoke Kushina from within his mind. Naruto watched on in interest as 4 families walked into the academy grounds. The first was 2 feral-looking people, 1 woman his mother's age and a boy his own, and a clean-looking girl maybe Shisui and Itachi's age. All 3 of them were accompanied by at least 1 dog. The boy held Naruto's interest for a single moment until he opened his mouth and started boasting about him being an alpha. Too arrogant, muttered Naruto, looking at the next family, 3 blondes, all with ponytails. The daughter looked like a clone of the mother. Naruto looked at the 2 for a moment, only to watch as the young girl moved over to the pink-haired girl and the 2 began to talk. Curious what the 2 would be talking about, Naruto concentrated chakra and devil magic on his ears, letting him hear the conversation. Fashion, I had higher hopes for you, Blondie, muttered Naruto, looking at the girl shaking his head. She was more than likely out too. Next group of people, two lazy-looking males, one the age of the parents, the other Naruto's age, both with black hair tied into fanned-out ponytails, and with them was an angry-looking woman with a twitching brow looking about ready to smack both of the males in the back of the head. Lazy, but maybe the kid looks like his father, and Toussaint thought he had skills worth having, whispered Naruto, looking at the lazy-looking boy. Lastly was a family of rather large individuals. Again, the child looked like he might work for a peerage member, but Naruto would have to get to know him better. So who are the parents, Kaa-chan? Asked Naruto. Big Bones, his name is Choza Akimichi Minato's rook. If you like living in 3 dimensions, don't call him fat, or he will flatten you. He can expand his body to massive sizes. Lazy ass is Shikaku Nara, your father's bishop. Lazy genius could plan 200 steps ahead and have 50 contingency plans. Has a high level of control over shadows and can use them for various effects. Blondie's father, Inoichi Yamanaka, Minato's other bishop, one of the best interrogators I know. It doesn't hurt that he can walk through your mind to find what he needs. And finally, Wild Child Sum Inuzuka, your father's second rook. She and her partner Kuramaru work in perfect synergy in animalistic fury like a Cerberus. All of them were loyal to your father, but I'm not sure how much, so you may have to take a risk if you want them with you when you leave Konoha, spoke Kushina. No, I'm not taking the risk. My freedom is more important to me than my father's peerage, and who knows, they might follow later, replied Naruto as he dropped from the tree, joining the crowd of young children as he felt Hiruzen's chakra signature off in the distance. Let's get this over with. No one screams to me devil material here. I should have just sent a clone today, thought Naruto to himself as Hiruzen walked into the academy grounds just after Sasuke, Itachi, Mikoto, and Fugaku. Hiruzen smiled and began his speech to welcome all of the children to the academy. Several hours later. The academy had ended for the day, and Naruto was walking up to his and Shirsue's training ground. That place has definitely gone downhill since I was there, came the voice of Kushina from Naruto's mind. It's kind of pathetic in a way, responded Naruto as he thought back on the day. It was all orientation and trying to break the ice between students, which could have quite easily been done in half of the day at most. But not only that, he found out that there would be no actual training for at least half a year to a full year, depending on how slow the academic portions were handled. So Naruto, how was your first day? Questioned Shisui with a smirk. Naruto simply glared at the man. Let's put it this way, I'm glad you taught me Kage Bunshin, Shadow Clone, said Naruto with a roll of the eyes. That bad, huh? Questioned Shisui. It was all welcome to the academy. Let us coddle you. Let's all be friends. I was this close to throwing up rainbows, spoke Naruto, holding his fingers nanometers apart. Well, what do you expect you're 8? Questioned Shisui. I expect them to, I don't know, point out that ninja live deadly lives. It's not a life of coddling, it's a life of killing, not even getting a Y in the matter, just a target and sometimes a specific way for them to die, said Naruto, looking at Shisui, who looked a little put off by his statement. I've lived a harsh life, I've seen the darkest side of life, and trust me, ninja is not it, said Naruto, looking away from Shisui as Ceres rose up out of Naruto's shadow, wrapping her arms around her master. Naruto's harsh look melted away. Thanks, Ceres, muttered Naruto, holding the woman's comforting arm as a smile made its way onto Naruto's face. All right, come on you two, no mushy stuff time for training, spoke Shisui, getting a glare from Ceres and a nod from Naruto, who stepped out of the embrace of his queen. All right, Shisui-sensei, what have we got today? Asked Naruto with a smile. Today, Naruto, I'm teaching you my signature technique, said Shisui with a grin. Oh, you're teaching me the Shunshin? Questioned Naruto with a grin. Oh yeah, I hope you're ready, cuz I'm going to make sure you get this one perfect, said Shisui with a grin. Several hours later. Naruto had finished his training with Shisui about half an hour ago, and Shisui was happy with Naruto's progress with the jutsu. Naruto was sitting at his table eating his dinner. Ceres was in the lounge reading a book. Luffy was also reading in the lounge, however she was reading a scroll on summoner magic that she had found in the house when suddenly they all heard a knock at the door. Naruto, who was the closest, got up and walked to the door, opening it. He came face to face with Mikoto, questioned Naruto, looking at the woman. Naruto-kun, you said I could come here if I needed a night away from Fugaku, spoke Mikoto, nervously rubbing her arm. Of course, Mikoto, come in, said Naruto, stepping aside, ushering the woman inside. So sorry for just showing up like that, said Mikoto, looking back to Naruto, who held up his hand. It's fine, Mikoto, I said you could stay here, said Naruto with a smile as the two walked through the halls. Oh, hello, Ceres-san, said Mikoto, spotting the woman as she stepped out of the lounge room. Mikoto, hey, are you all right? Questioned Ceres with a raised eyebrow, looking at the woman. Yeah, I'm fine, said Mikoto, only to get a doubtful look from Ceres, only for a new voice to speak up. Who was that at the oh hello, said Luffy, stepping out of the lounge room, stopping mid-sentence when she saw Mikoto. Hello there, I don't believe we've met. I'm Mikoto Uchiha, said Mikoto, leaning down to be eye to eye with the girl. Nice to meet you, Mikoto-sama, my name is Luffy Pendragon, said the girl with a smile. Aren't you a well-behaved girl? What are you doing here? Kushina didn't have a second child. Are you Ceres' daughter? Asked Mikoto, sending a look back to Ceres. No, she's a friend of mine who needed a place to stay while her parents went to the capital, said Naruto with a smile, making Mikoto look back at him with a nod. Ceres will show you where you'll be staying tonight, said Naruto, getting a nod from Mikoto, who followed Ceres as she led them out of the room. Luffy, said Naruto, drawing the girl's attention to him. She is in the dark about devils, please try to keep it that way, said Naruto, getting a nod from the blonde girl. Why is she here though? Questioned Luffy. The same reason she is in the dark about devils. She has an abusive husband. She was one of my mother's closest friends. I met her the other day and Kaa-chan asked me to treat her like she was my mother, said Naruto, getting a nod from Luffy. And she may end up showing up a lot from now on, said Naruto. Okay, fair enough, said Luffy, going back to her reading. Naruto quickly walked towards where Mikoto was. Walking into the room, he stood leaning in the doorway. Ceres, would you leave us for a moment? Questioned Naruto, getting a nod from his queen, who moved out of the room, leaving Mikoto and Naruto alone. So you want to tell me what Fugaku did? Asked Naruto, looking at Mikoto. Nothing, Naruto, I just needed a night away from him, said Mikoto with a smile. So that's why you have another genjutsu on you, this one covering your eye? Questioned Naruto, making Mikoto look away from him, covering her eye. Show me, said Naruto. Mikoto sighed and let the genjutsu on her face fall, revealing her left eye was bruised all around it. What was that for? Questioned Naruto through clenched teeth. I told him I want Sasuke to stay in the academy rather than pulling him out until next year, spoke Mikoto. Naruto sighed as he walked over to her. Hold still, said Naruto as his right hand began to glow with blue flames. All right, people, chapter over.